Okay, hey guys, here we go. Another live. And it's my Friday. So I got my next 2 days off here. But, anyways, thank you guys for being here yet again. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And of course, if you haven't hit that like and share for Jack and Lily, please do so. Or if you haven't, please go do so now. Anyways, we'll say some hellos, and Belinda will be joining us in a little bit here again. She really wants to say a big thank you. Yesterday, again, I kind of put this in chat, raised $800 last night. Some from some very generous people out there. So definitely we'll go through that when Belinda comes on. So if anyone has the ability to help with the fight for justice for Jack and Lily and the legal costs, like I said, she's getting, like she said, actually, she's looking for a new lawyer, someone within Nova Scotia that can help represent her and somebody that she can go actually see. So anyway, so that link is, of course, pinned to the top for that GoFundMe. But just a big thank you to everyone that, follows this case and understands that Belynda is she's just a wonderful person. You guys have heard her on here, and I've talked to her on Messenger, and she just is a beautiful person inside and out. So thank you guys. I just want to say a big thank you for that. Appreciate that. So Mike, hello, how are you doing? Glad to be here. Justice for Jack and Lily. Little bear, little black bear, my bad. Little black bear, you're not the bear that happened to travel through or traverse through Daniel and Malia's property, are you? You know, that one had me in stitches, I think, when DT was covering that one about a bear thing, but whatever. Anyways, Belinda, hello, much love from our home to yours. Appreciate that. And Black Bear says, hello, mods. Of course. Hi, Attica. How are you? Good evening, everyone. Again, I'm West Coast, so I'm 3:38 right now. Belinda will join us around the 4 o'clock area, okay, my time. So in about 20 minutes, or so time, right about there, okay. So she was on, of course, last night for a bit, and she'll be on just for a little bit as well tonight. But to say a big thank you, because I know when I was messaging her after it, she was just very overwhelmed with emotions for the support. So she appreciates it. And I appreciate you guys for helping out Belinda in this, like I said, need for the fight for Jack and Lily. So thank you. Okay, Mike says hello again. Hi. Whoops. I'm stuffed. I'm a stuffed chicken, not KFC. Roasted chicken, sour cream, cheesy potatoes. Oh, shut up. Shut up. You're making me so hungry right now, just even reading that. Hi, Adam. How are you? Hi, Leanne. Nice to see you guys. And no, I didn't know there was a video, but no, I have not. Um, was there a gist of it? Like, kind of like the gist of what that video was about? That would be great. Little black bear. Hi, Angelina. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Badettes. Do. All right, there you go. Flashy pink hands. Hi, woman fish. How are you? Hi, Kemi. Thank you. Hello, friends. Marie Antoinette. Hello, Sunny, everyone. Hi, Colleen. Again, thank you guys for being here. Happy Thursday. It's my Friday. So, always Jack and Lily. We love you, Jack and Lily. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, it is the hardest thing to sit there, and think about the fact that two children, beautiful children, right? Children are precious. No one can ever take that feeling from me, I'm sure from you guys, of how precious children are. They're just innocent. They're products of their environments. And every child deserves the utmost love and care. and protection. Simple as that. And so, anytime cases when you are looking at little children, especially, right? It's just so hard on the heart. I mean, I don't want to take away from other people that are missing, but children, they're just innocent. They deserve so much better than these some of these bad environments that children, have been in through about a lot of these cases, and it's heartbreaking. There's no other way to say it. At the moment, we're kind of in that lull, is that you want justice for Jack and Lily, you want to have answers, you know, and let's say the answers came tomorrow and we found out that, Jack and Lily are no longer with us and stuff like that. Then it's weird how, all of a sudden your heart starts feeling, because then it's like the reality is there, right? It's been like over a year of, speculation, talking about the case and stuff like that. But then it's a whole different feeling when it's like, if they were to say, like, we found Jack and Lily, unfortunately they're not alive still or something like that, right? It's just a whole new thing, because then reality just kicks in, that these two beautiful children, that you wish for so badly back. And you wish that they simply would return, or be returned. I'll put it that way, you know. But again, it's not being soulless, but the reality of it is that that's a very unlikely scenario. I mean, just statistically. So, but no matter what, at the end of the day, you still always want to hold out hope. It's just that the likelihood isn't there, you know. Hi, Corbin. How are you? Dodie, did I say hello to you already? TJZ mom. Hi, Sunny and everyone. Grey Wolf's in the house. Hi, Sunny and Belynda. But that's again, Miss Sunny. Great to see you again. Thank you. Nice to see you guys again. I do want to say that, from the bottom of my heart, that, it's kind of like when I was taking my break there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was thoroughly just enjoying doing whatever I wanted, not making any plans besides work and stuff like that. But, it was time to come back. It's time to come back and be an advocate, during lives for Jack and Lily, bring awareness, talk to you guys, see you guys again, and stuff like that. You guys truly are like the people from It's a Criming Shame. You guys truly are the family here, right? I mean, like I said, there's people that come and go, and then there's people that will remain. But, like I said, I don't need friends to in real life either, to keep my spirits up or be who I am. But I think of my channel as my family here, and there's a lot of great people. But I just truly want to say that, because that's how it feels to me. Just chill, relax, talk about the cases, can joke around at times and stuff like that, and just be a good group of people. Wow, nice to see you, Sunny. It's been a hot minute. Exactly. It's been a hot minute. Anyways, you guys, thank you guys for being here. Hello, everyone. Hi, old garden gal. Evening, all from East Coast. LOL. That's hilarious, Sunny. Love it. I love your sense of humor. God bless you. I should have peeked in the winter, laughing my butt off on. Well, I mean, by the way, the KFC joke will never get old. Okay. I mean, that's something that between me and Daniel, like that whole KFC thing, by the way. But honestly, you totally made me hungry as I was reading that. I was just picturing it in front of my mouth, drooling there. Like husband, he made tandoori chicken for himself or whatever. And that, but honestly, I'm so tired of having Indian food. It's like once in a while, but he always likes to have it. If he could live off of tiki masala and the chicken, he would. The GoFundMe was brilliant. What a help that can be for legal counsel. Again, you know what? The goal today is to try to get over the 1,000. Like we raised 800, and whatever support comes out there again, right? This isn't about being a grifter or whatever. This is about caring about Jack and Lily, but Belynda, right? For her fight for Jack and Lily, so that she can have temporary guardianship or whatever it is called, so that she can get the answers too. Like when the RCMP, but right, I think rightfully so. Belynda, she deserves to me to have um the guardianship underneath of her name. And with that being said, as you know, she was on here last night, she spoke about it. She's not money bagged, she just isn't. She's done so much, but the assistance from you guys to help in that, that can or have the ability to, is very much appreciative. To I just like I said, Belynda is just an amazing person. There's no other way to say it. I love Belynda to pieces. You guys know I don't put up with anyone's slagging on Belynda. She doesn't deserve it. She's a great human being. And to me, great human beings are the ones for me personally that I enjoy helping, that I'm sure you guys enjoy helping and stuff, like doing it for the right reasons, right? Thank you, Attica. And again, so, I mean, when Belynda told me that Daleen would no longer be her lawyer and that she wanted somebody that was closer, and that Belynda can go talk to, huge difference. I think it's a great idea. Hi, Joe. How are you? Smart ass. But yeah, so welcome back. I did have KSC tonight. Whatever. I can't even really have that because the husband, he oily stuff now just gives him such a pain. Nobody knows. Nobody's talking. Hi, Mr. Calvados or Calvados. Hi, Rhonda. Hello, beautiful. Prayers, of course. I hope your husband's doing well there, Rhonda. And Rhonda, another beautiful person. Um, in the behind in Messenger and stuff like that. Another just a beautiful human being as well. Not to say others aren't, but there's some people obviously that I talk to frequently on my Messenger, and it's not because usually sometimes I'm a bad messenger person, really, but it's nice when people like check in and tell you how much you're missed and, how are you doing and stuff like that. Hi, Rogue. How are you? Happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? Oh, wait. My bad. Hello, Beef Sunny. Great live on my B day. How did I miss that part? Well, shit, Rhonda. I did not know it was your birthday today. And then I was about to overlook that up until Dodie said that. So happy 29th birthday, Rhonda. I know that you're definitely not a day over 29, just like I'm not, right? But happy birthday, beautiful. Aw, so everybody, throw some cakes out there, balloons, whatever, for Rhonda. Happy birthday. It's that special day for everybody that's their own. Or sometimes they have to share it with other people and siblings. Can I ask if areas around Dollarama, Malaya's grandmother, have been searched at all? Attica, honestly, we wouldn't be able to answer that. I mean, only the RCMP, they would know that, but there's nobody else probably that would really know that too much unless they were people in the community that saw them. Hi, Gypsy. Hello, everyone. Justice for Jack and Lily, as always. Yep. Hi, Kayla. How are you? Um, Belynda, I believe, says happy birthday to Rhonda. Yes, ma'am. Grey Wolf, we have all you can eat KFC here. Ooh, really? Really? Oh, who's this? Charmaine. I wonder if I'm too stupid to talk to Charmaine today. What do you think, Charmaine? I think I'm too stupid to talk to you today. I'll get on with that. I'll talk a little piece about that. I'll just say that obviously me and Charmaine in this channel, caused Jack and Lily's and all this drama that's going on according to POS channel, that hosts Anita on it. That's sorry, but I literally rolled on the floor laughing my ass. Well, no, I didn't actually literally roll, but okay, I laughed my ass off when someone sent that video to me this morning. And I want to say that, it's like when somebody sits there and tries to like go, well, she said this about me on her channel. Now I'm just going to blame them for everything about Jack and Lily's case. And I'm holding back, but Charmaine called Sunny stupid. I don't fall for these stupid antics. Charmaine, call me stupid. Then that way it can be true. Okay? Just call me stupid so it can be true. Anyways. Anyway, that's even when I think about listening to it, how stupid it sounded. Oh, wait. And who said I like my sense of humor? Because I am just a joke. I am just a joke. Anyways, love to see you, of course, Charmaine. You guys know Charmaine's got stuff going on and busy, busy, busy. Gonna go see her granddaughters while she's up there in the Alberta section again. Well, oh, Daniel, a big fat apology. Team Daniel. Oh, Joe, you're such a smartass. Someone needs to be held accountable right now. Wow, someone, you know, definitely, I would say answers definitely need to come for Jack and Lily. Hi, Charmaine. Charmaine's in the house. Hi, Patriot Girl. Hello, Carol. So, again, for anyone coming in, please hit that like and share. And again, the uh, GoFundMe for Belynda is pinned to the top, and that she'll be on here in just a little bit. Come join us. She wants to say thank you. Again, it was kind of like, wow, thank you to you guys. Women fish, all the KFC talking is making my belly rumble. Hi, Violet on there. Okay, I think Charmaine. I'm just gonna scroll. Hi, Angela. How are you? Appreciate the comment. Thank you so much. Oh, these talks about Charmaine. Oh, I gotta change Melissa's channel still. My bad. My bad. Pauline, how are you? Like 39. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like and share. Sunny just needs us. And we need her. Go on. I got time. Go on. Yes, ma'am. Let's hope. Thank you, Leanne. Let's hope now it's getting warmer that Jack and Lily can be found. Truly hope. There's Chelsea. Chelsea's in the house. The second favorite daughter's in the house, people. Sorry, Chelsea. I got to roast you on that sometimes just because. Okay. Hello, Sunny. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you too. Hi, just a clapping seal. I feel like that would be a walrus. I was about to go, "Womp," or what is it? Isn't that walrus? I can't even think of how they sound like actually. Forget it. Okay. I was just going to do this instead. Yeah, you're like my little sister, Sunny, that I didn't know I needed. Well, okay. You know you need me. Lies. Uh, the Canadian cat lady, how are you today? Hello, everyone. Hey, Belynda. Hope you all are doing well. Tandoori chicken, so good. The end. Okay, I got to scroll. I know that all this. Well, you know what? Belynda's going to be up here shortly. Again, so I'm kind of just going through the love yous and thank yous, and then after say Belynda's on, you guys, and then we'll get into Jack and Lily a lot more on this stuff. Okay, but either or, as long as the live's up and Jack and Lily's faces are showing, and stuff like that, and people are hitting that like and the share to keep their story out there for Jack and Lily, that's truly what Belynda would love to have. It's just, people talking, keeping their awareness out there. Oh my God, my heart is so broken for our Belynda. Absolutely. Okay, Carol Bowser, 100, 100, 100. I've sent uh, Belynda a few for pro bono lawyer. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, definitely, it would be nice to have a pro bono lawyer as to do it as well. I mean, I know Daleen was doing that, but like I said, I'm sure there is. There's got to be someone out there in Nova Scotia that might be willing, and hopefully that does come along. Hi everyone. Hi Deborah. I'm surprised. A pro. Oh, right, exactly. You know, sometimes you would think that they would do it somewhat just a little bit for the notoriety, right? It's kind of like the Delphi case, right? When the defense got, that particular case, it does a lot for careers and stuff like that. But because Jack and Lily's case is a huge case in the Nova Scotia area, and for me personally, unless I'm wrong, it's one of the strangest cases, but one of the biggest cases for sure in Canada that has happened involving two children's disappearance. So thank you guys again. Um, just the love and support, Belynda, I know Chelsea appreciates for her mother. And, we can only do what we can do, and together we can do a lot together. So, um, you know, uh, many is better than one. But got to be Jack and Lily's voices, right? Can she get legal aid to represent her? Yeah, I couldn't even tell you about all that stuff. I don't know that I would necessarily want legal aid. I'd probably prefer pro bono. I donated very early on. Belynda, I hope you can reach your goal. You're a gem out there. So hold on, let me just see. Like I said, Belynda's going to be up here in a few. I would like to get the goal it's at 2005. So that's what we raised from last night. And like I said, it would be nice to see a crack the 3,000. From yesterday when I first learned about this GoFundMe, it was at like I think $2,004 or something like that. And that was from like 2 and 3 months ago. Belynda, it's not like she's splashing this around. But I insisted because I know definitely that there are people, like I said, out there that, have no problem. They got maybe some extra money in their pocket, or, even if it's $5 or something like that and stuff like that. Any bit is helping. So that would be the goal tonight, to kind of get to the 3K mark. And then go from, well, what yesterday was 800. So again, we'll talk about that in just a bit again. But all I can say is thank you guys. And I know Belynda will thank you when she comes up here. Hubby has to drive an hour one way for KFC. The struggle is real on that end, eh? You have to call the pro bono legal team, but there are lawyers to help with people who have income restraints. Yeah. I know that this has just been a lot, like from the start of this case to now. Belynda, I know, has grown a lot, learned a lot. And all this is based around Jack and Lily and two missing children that you kind of didn't think would be at the year mark, but it is. Hey, Sunny, glad I'm here with everyone. Again, Rhonda, it's her birthday today. So happy birthday to Rhonda, which is the doctor, what is this chick in the name? Hi, baby monkey. How are you? Attica, is there anyone in Pictou or Lansdowne area like MP, member of parliament? They can sometimes move mountains. Like I said, not my forte, like any of the government stuff, but with your guys' help and stuff like that, like Belynda is going to be well loved and well taken care of by a lot of you guys. Thank you, everyone is so sweet. Thank you for making my day awesome. I'd sing happy birthday to you, but my vocals, they're not happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I'm going to do Marilyn Monroe. To you. Happy birthday, dear Rhonda. You guys sing it with me? Happy birthday. Oh, hold on, there's some cake. To you. And many more. All right. That's my version, okay? Because if you guys were to hear those regular notes, I'm sure that most of you would disappear in a second. All right, then. In Ontario, we're able to get pro bono lawyers for a custody case. Oh, there's Charmaine. There she is again. Hour later. Belynda believes I'm doing some research, but she has to call. If she explains about the kids missing, she may get sympathetic lawyer. Right. Stuff like that, right? Yeah. Hey, Charmaine. Hey, Charmaine. Hey, Charmaine. I feel like I'm too stupid to say her name even. I don't know. I just don't feel like I got the brain cells to be able. I'm just too stupid, you know. Apparently, I'm a joke. Says the loser that was taking all our content. Anyways, sorry, but there's little times that I do like to poke when I find it really ridiculously stupid and humorous. And well, this is one of those moments that I just dig, 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 dig. That would be great, Patriot. She's had so much to deal with. Life is so unfair for her family right now. She needs a break. We just love and respect her so much. Hello, Charmaine. Hope your night is going well. I don't necessarily know that I do. Charmaine, I will respond in kind when I'm good and ready. Hi, nurse. How are you? Thank you. He is a POS. And oh, you know what? Everyone, just raise your hand if you agree. Okay. If you don't, well, too bad. We're probably gonna outwin you on this one. I don't say much, but I asked him to show receipts today. Yeah. Well, he can go right ahead, and I still wouldn't care. You know. The thing is that I know for a fact, in a sense, that you know sometimes you say stuff or do stuff, and with him, it was just a user trying to message me and stuff like that, and like just a user. But anyways, sometimes you say shit just so they can say shit back and stuff like that. If Shara happened to call me stupid, it was for a good darn reason, you know. Never take me and Shar for sure, for fools, because we're not, right? And well, and I'll say Melissa too. But I know Melissa, she does a very little on her channel, but you guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah, don't take kindness for weakness. Don't take me for a fool, because I'm not. Um, okay, good. I thought we were talking about the legal aid for Malaya. Always good. Oh, I love Doodle. Now, let's see here. Um, just after 4. Belynda, just pop up on the live whenever you're ready. If you're listening, by the way, I would throw my phone to you. Yeah. Everything will come out in the proper context, nurse. Yeah. Right. At the end of the day, like I said, it's like, whatever. With him, don't care. It's like having a useless, like two useless tits on a bowl type of thing. No thanks. But anyways, like I'm being nice. Uh, Hi, Ariel. Hi, Trail Hiker. Hi, Pinky. Thank you. Love you, Sunny, and all you do. So it's actually quite funny because I was actually thinking of you today, Pinky, on there. And I think it's the Pinky name. It just stands out to me when I see it and stuff like that. And I think I'm thinking of, I know it's not, but I kind of think I'm thinking of Greece for some reason whenever I see your name. Just pink. Wasn't it Pinky Tuscadero? Something like that. Anyways, thank you for the super chat. And add to stage. Belynda. It's been so long since we last saw each other.
Hi, Sunny.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. I wanted to thank you for last night.
No,
And,
thank you for coming on.
and I want to thank you for giving me a platform. I am really overwhelmed by all the support I've received and words of encouragement. It's nice to know I don't stand alone. I know I have my family behind me, but to see all of you guys standing behind me too means a lot. I'm very grateful for all the generosity of so many loving strangers supporting my GoFundMe for legal counsel. You're
Mhm.
appreciated more than I really know how to put into words.
You always make me want to tear up because I know I just know how genuine you are, and you're not just like I'm not. You're not that person. It's so hard for you to ask for help. So I absolutely, that's, but for me to do it for others, but like yourself, and I only do it for people, for anyone that I feel like what I deem is worthy of, trying to help out or assist. But I love you, Belinda, and I'm so glad that, there's people out there that, are able to help you or assist you that way. And even if they're not, it's the support and the love from everyone.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah.
And yes, happy birthday, Rhonda. And Patriot Girl, thank you that I'm going to give it the weekend and Monday I'll be hitting the phone running.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would think, Belinda, that because of this case, like this is a well-known case, but just across Canada, even, right? You know, I'm sure there has to be a lawyer close that would absolutely, even if it was at a lower cost or something, you know, um, to help. But sometimes, you know, you have to go knocking on those doors to get those answers from people, right?
I'm
So,
hoping so that I want to put out a thank you to Daylene because she's done a lot to get me where I'm at right now. And
mhm.
I know her and Chrissy are going to do their thing on the side to try to get to the truth. I know we all want justice for Lily and Jack. I just want to know where my grandbabies are.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, you s- even if answers come, but you want to know where they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those twofold things, is that one can't be complete without the other. So it's like I'll take the Montgomery case. Um is that the mom and the dad were charged, uh I don't know why I can't think of all of a sudden the name. Yeah, I could smack myself when I forget children's names. But anyways, it's right on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, so basically, the dad had killed his daughter, and the mom ended up basically getting a deal because she, of course, went to court against him. But bottom line is that although they had the evidence to prove it, they have still no idea, where her precious body is. Why can't I think of her name? It's like there. But anyways, do you know what I mean? And same for Jack and Lily's case. Sure, if a conviction comes with evidence, because you don't necessarily need the bodies to, it's just about the evidence to prove that, but it would be hollow in a sense, because it's a matter of being able, that if the children are deceased, to be able to lay them to rest properly, or else that void would still be there regardless, right?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
it will.
yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping this summer, the rest of this spring, this summer, that we have a lot of boots on the ground, a lot of searching taking place. That I really hope that we can find them.
Now, you know what? Can I quickly ask you about that? Because I only heard that, I think, were you in Chelsea not allowed to go searching?
No, we weren't.
Uh,
My family was asked not to participate because of my court case.
oh, okay. And so, like, how did you feel about that? I'm curious.
It hurt. It hurt a lot. I I understood Nick's point of view on I do know the mixed feelings between both families. I get that. So I understood me not being there. I did not understand the rest of my family not being there. They weren't there to socialize, they were there to search. So that I don't
Yeah.
get. So I was really upset.
Yeah.
But either way, I need searches to take place. So to me, I really, at the end of the day, I don't care because I need the searches to take place.
Right. Do you do you know when the next, like, are they doing another search?
I'm sure they will, yes.
You know? Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what Jack and Lily need. Um, People to, you know what I mean, go out and search, check places that say haven't been checked. You never know. You know, we don't. Nobody knows, but you know, I know that there's so many times I've been following cases or seen cases where the family members would gather every weekend, you know,
Hmm.
because, you know, it happens, right? The RCMP, the only time they're going to come back is when they actually have something that will guide them to
Yes,
possibly to look. Other
yes.
than that, they're not going to be like doing searches. So it's good. It's
No,
up to like the please bring me home or private searches as best as people can do, you know, to keep that part of it out there for that, you know, while the RCMP, you know, try to work on still the answers through the evidence part, you
yeah,
know.
just like finding a local lawyer that I would love to find more local searches that can come out and help.
Yeah, you know. And so, you know, now that it's coming on, is it all the snow gone away from you guys over there?
Oh, oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Right now, we're hitting the season of the black flies and ticks are on the
What's
move already. So
Oh, no, no, no. Ticks, eh? No.
yeah,
You guys get a lot out there? I
yes,
guess.
yes, we do.
Do ya? Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, no. I was when I was at work yesterday, uh where these two benches are, um I was like standing underneath the tree because it was like the sun was shining there. And then a couple hours later I went to the bathroom and this little varmint was in my hair. And I'm thinking to myself, I know your ass came from the tree when I was outside. So that means that you've been sitting in my hair for at least a good couple hours right now. Anyways, it was chugging along my bangs. And I was like, dude, I'm not taking you back outside, but here, you can have this bathroom all to yourself. Yeah, and live in it. But yeah, for some reason, Belinda, for some reason, mosquitoes like British blood. Don't tell me why. I don't know. But me and my husband could be walking along and he's smacking himself left, right, and center. And I'm just like, really? He's like, I'm just getting bit. I don't know what it is, but these little the mosquitoes out here, they just love his British blood. Like I'm not even kidding. There must be something to it because I I'm there with him and yet I'm not getting attacked. Yeah. But that's the
Yeah,
one thing I go ahead.
I think they say it's a pheromone scent that certain people put off that attracts them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he must have some tikka masala tandoori chicken freaking shit that's, you know, clinging to him or something like that. All right. Yeah. No ticks. No, thank you. You guys, I want to go through to thank the people while Belynda's on this live. I promised I wouldn't keep her too long because it was just, you know, to come say thank you. And, you know, even though you guys know, I mean, I can sit there for a couple hours still and talk with Belynda, no problem, you know, or Chelsea. Or Chelsea, I could get rid of you and have my other, the second daughter that you love, Chelsea. Okay. I'm gonna make the screen bigger here. So again, thank you guys for all the love and support for this. I had asked Belynda for this. She never even brought it up. I'm the one that said, "Hey, do you by chance have a link for a link to support what you're doing or whatever?" So I had no idea up until yesterday actually about this GoFundMe. And if I was told, my brain had forgotten. It was definitely around the time that I hadn't been doing any lives. I'm just gonna hit refresh on there. Okay, so see all now. So Pinky that's in chat, donated $200 to you, Belinda,
Oh
on
my
there.
God.
Pinky,
Thank you,
thank
thank
you,
you,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Mm-hmm. Belinda believes that's in chat. Donated $100 yesterday. Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you. And then you had another anonymous donor uh, that donated $200 as well. So thank you, anonymous donor. I'm not sure who this one is. I know that True Crime Hunter was in here yesterday and he said he had made a donation. So I'm not really sure. All I know is that I believe it's under an anonymous name. And then Carol Vanderwater. She donated $50. And Caroline, if I think I said Carolyn. Um, by the way, I seen you donate $5 to my Sun, Moon, and Stars for the coffee app on there. Now, I just want to be very clear on this because this has happened many times. Is that people think that they're joining the channel, um, but they're joining this coffee, like the buy me a coffee app, Sun, Moon, and Stars. So I just want to say, Carolyn, I'm not sure if you knew that or not. So if you meant to do that, then thank you. But if you didn't mean to do that, just know that like if you want to become a member, then that's like the bottom tier is like a buck 99 for that to be a YouTube channel member. So just in case, because I know people do get mixed up. Okay. And then you have another anonymous donor that donated $100 23 hours ago.
This is
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then another anonymous donor that donated $99 21 hours ago. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Beth, I'm not sure if it's Hindi or Hind, however you say it, donated $34 7 hours ago. And I believe that's it for the moment to say thank you to. So I think it's oh wait, MSJ Bragger 22 hours ago donated $18. Yeah, I don't want to miss anybody. So that was $18. I just have to look at the hours here. And then I'll tell these good people back when this was originally brought up. And yeah, that should be
I
it.
appreciate all of you guys. I thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, somebody. Okay, so did this one just come in? Um, or was that part of the late person I just read? So Pinky, Belynda, Anonymous, Carolyn, Anonymous. So I'm not sure if that well, hold on, because it seven. How long ago was that? Was 22. Um, where's the Bragger one? Because it just went up, right? It was at 05. And so I'm wondering if I was while I was doing this. What did that person's where did Bragger? I don't usually ever play around with GoFundMe, so this is like the blind leading the blind on this stuff. Uh Beth Hind Anonymous. Right here. No, that was 22 hours ago. So there was someone that just donated $10 in the last like couple minutes here. So whoever you
Thank you
are,
so much.
yeah, yeah. Whoops, my bad. My bad. I'll come back out here. Um, yeah, so if I haven't said your name now, And because like I said, I just see that somebody did donate. Again, the goal tonight for me, guys, personally, I mean, $1,000,000 by the end of this live would be great. I think. You think we can do that, Belinda? Million? Maybe in Monopoly money or something like that. But anyways, oh,
Every
that was
little bit,
me. There's
every little
Dawn.
bit helps.
Dawn says, Dawn, right there on the in the chat right now, that she said that was me. That was me. So
Oh, thank you, Don.
yeah, yeah. I would like to see, like I said, myself, if we could get over 3,000, or like, obviously this has been since yesterday. From it was $2,004, I believe. So we're at 2,815. If we can crack that. So if anyone's watching this live later, and again can support Belynda, help her out. I know. And I know full well how Belynda feels. It's very heartwarming, to say the least, you know, when people assist, and it's so hard to even, put it out there, but for good reasons, for Jack and Lily, and the fight for justice for Jack and Lily, right? All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah. I'm not sure because, like I said, I promised I would not keep you, too long. You have is it tomorrow you have your granddaughter?
I was supposed to have my granddaughter
Or was it
today, but
today? Okay.
she is, yeah, she's sick. But
Oh,
so it's put off for another week until she's feeling better.
yeah, okay. Because you know what? I thought you had said Thursday,
Yeah,
but then when you agreed, I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday on there. Yeah. Yeah. So what's your plans this weekend?
I have to go to town early tomorrow. Our truck's
Mhm.
off the road right now doing repairs for a safety inspection coming up. So we're traveling with my stepson right now. So it's an early morning tomorrow to hit town.
Yeah. I guess because yeah, obviously it's coming on 8:30 over there and everything like that. But, as just so you know, as more people say, donate and help Belinda out, I'll always check with her, because I know that I just, like today, I really appreciated she like had no problem, of course, just saying yes. I would love to thank the people from yesterday because I know how much it meant to her and stuff like that. And so, I'll check back again in a few days, and if Belinda has time again, to give thanks. I know it means a lot to you guys. Like, it's not coming just from me; it's coming from actually Belinda, and that's the whole purpose of helping out for Jack and Lily and Belinda, and I appreciate you guys, love and support. But yeah, I'll keep following, like the GoFundMe, um, because it's a good cause. It's a good reason for what you're trying to do here. Obviously, you know.
Thank you.
Aw, okay.
Thank you and thank everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Well, oh, there's Hunter. Wait, Hunter, hold on. Hunter said he donated again. Belinda, you're not going anywhere just yet. Hunter's in the house now. Hold on. Let me just. Oh, wait, hold on. It's not showing anything yet, Hunter. Maybe it must. Oh, there we go. Right there. Oh, look it. Kemi. Hold on. This isn't Kemi, that's in chat right now. She just whoops, my bad. Uh, where did I just okay, let me just go. Kemi right here just donated $50. Hey, Hunter, you don't got a couple accounts, sock accounts there, do you?
Thank you.
Like Kemi's a different person than you. Ah, there she is. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you guys. Now, Hunter, he said he did again. So let's just see. Mm, 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 mm. Da, 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 da. Mm. Hunter, did your payment fail? Just kidding.
Sonny, I
Listen,
want everybody to know that I have no idea how much a lawyer's going to cost. So I want people to know that anything that is donated, if I can get another pro bono and see what might incur with that, I don't know. But everybody will decide in the end what happens to the money.
yeah. Hey,
And
Belinda, go ahead, finish. My bad.
that if I don't need the money for a lawyer, then yeah, everybody can decide where this money should be put.
Yeah. Um, would you be against having a live Jack and Lily thon for you?
What
I've done them.
what
I've
what
done
does
them
that
before.
mean?
It basically means the live is about people coming in, talking about the case, you being here, and then people just as they come in and out through the live, that wish to donate. But the whole live, the concept is about basically a donation thon or a Jack and Lily thon or a Belynda thon, whatever you want to call it. Um, and it's just a live where it's really about that. I've done them before for others, and again, it's no one's twisting anyone's arms. It's just one of those things, you can get asked whatever questions, answer any questions as we do the live type of idea. And as people, like I said, come in and donate. Would you be against that?
I wouldn't be against it, but I might need a couple of nights to possibly prepare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, like it could be like maybe a next Saturday thing or something like that. Or, oh, no, you said you have
Okay.
your granddaughter. Well,
N-
go
I
ahead.
get my granddaughter at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So yeah, it won't be this weekend. So next weekend is free.
Yeah. The only thing I have is the dentist at 12 o'clock. But so f- Saturday would be perfect for me
Hmm.
on there. You
I
guys
can
in
make
for
that
that?
work.
Yeah. Okay. You guys good for that? And again, it's only for the people that want to and are capable. That doesn't mean that people don't come in because it will be covering the case, type of thing, talking about different aspects of the case, whatever, of Jack and Lily, bringing awareness and just doing donation thon type of thing for Lily and Jack. Well, you guys know what I mean, obviously. Um, uh, Belynda, Jack and Lily, same thing. I think he is anonymous, but let me just take a look. So wait a second. Someone did 10, that was uh 15. Okay, wait. So then 15 plus 50 is 65, right? So maybe let's see here. So then maybe I did not see it. Let me just take a look. Yeah, maybe my math skills aren't mething too well. Um, oh, actually, no, Hunter did 20. He's right here. Hunter, 9 minutes ago. There you
Thank
go.
you, Hunter.
You think that they would do them in, oh, wait, what was this one? Oh, Dawn. So Dawn had done, uh, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, Dawn. Dawn, that's the one that said Dawn in chat. That's when we were talking about. Perfect. Okay, on there. That's a heck of a last name. Samantas? Samantha Tannen? On there. Anyways, you beautiful people. So yeah. So next Saturday we'll have a thing and I'll prepare for it too better. Like meaning, we'll make it like I hate to use the word fun, but I'm gonna say, you know, we'll make it more, active, right? It's gonna be fire. Isn't that the word? It's gonna be fire. That's your new word, Belinda, by the way. When things are
I
good,
actually like it.
yeah, it's gonna be fire. All right. Thank you, everybody. Okay. I don't want to keep you. Like I said, I know you said you had an early morning and stuff like that. Is there anything at all? You've been saying your thank yous and that to everyone. Appreciate it. Is there anything at all you want to say before you head off, Belinda?
I'm just very grateful for all you guys. Thank you.
And ah, I was just waiting for one more thing. I'll tell you what you were supposed to say after that. That's okay. I'll help you out. I love you,
Hit,
Sonny, more than
hit
Chelsea.
that and hit that like button.
Sure. Okay, that comes after. No. Chelsea always knows I'm joking. Not sorry, no. No. You okay, Belynda, thank
Maybe
you.
I can talk her into being here with me for the
You
marathon.
know what? That would be amazing. Chelsea, pull up those big girl panties that sister gave you here, and you come join your mom for that marathon. You know, you don't have to turn your camera on. You can just put an avatar up there. That's all good and stuff like that. And you can be vocal and say whatever you want. I'll give you the free run on that. Actually, do you want to host it? How about we just start her off with hosting? Anyways, okay. So we'll see if you can talk her into it. Um, if not, then I guess I will just have to be yes, which is
Well,
fine with
hopefully I
me.
can talk her into it.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just there's the time, and the time is now, and the time is like now. When I say now, next Saturday, Chelsea. All right. So pull up those big girl panties and come on up with us. All right. Thing is, honestly, usually when people do it once, they're actually like, that wasn't bad. Is that how you felt, Belynda? I know you're in a different circumstance because
Yes, but
obviously,
no, it actually still is bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still bad, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unnerving.
Oh, do you still get nervous?
Yes, very much so.
Come on, you're with the sun here. Come on now.
I know. I know.
I mean, Daniel talked to me for 9 hours, Belynda. Obviously, he felt comfortable for 9 hours. I,
Um, I I live a very quiet life.
shh,
I talk to the animals.
I know.
So this is yeah.
That would be cool, even hosting your own channel and you're talking about Jack and Lily's case while you're outside with the animals. That would be cool.
I don't take offense when somebody calls me a hillbilly. I actually like that term.
I was, you know what? If I could have your backyard, I would take it in a minute. I
Hmm.
because I just always have loved um just the ability just to enjoy, that space that's kind of like nature. And you have a beautiful backyard for anyone that hasn't seen it. I remember one time I was talking to Belinda and I think it was on Messenger, but I can't remember how it went. But all of a sudden she's like, Sonny, I need to go feed the animals right now. And as she was on the phone, right? And she showed me pictures of all the different animals. Anyways, beautiful backyard, you know, beautiful place for like the little memorial and that for Jack and Lily. And, I like I said, I would trade that in a minute just to have that type of, chill vibe going on, because it's like your little feng shui thing, eh? Just a nice place to be, right?
Yeah, I know Jack would love my backyard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Aw. Okay, well, I'll let you go, Missy, because I don't want to keep you
Okay.
longer than I said, which I already did. But thank
Thank
you,
you. And thank you,
everybody.
everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. Big hugs. Love you, Belinda.
Love you.
Love you, favorite mother. No, just kidding. uh,
Okay.
oh,
You
yeah,
can
right.
take
You need me to
care.
boot you. Yeah, okay. Ready? It's gonna hurt. All right, here we go. Kick. Boom. There she goes. Aw. But thank you so much. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. All right. Now, Tiffany, look how willing Belinda is to always speak when, given the opportunity, even with only a week notice. Heck, I asked her this morning on this one, and yesterday I asked her just before the live. To be honest with you, she doesn't even need a week most times, right? It depends what it is, but you know, uh, in- Belinda's always willing to speak up for Jack and Lily, right? I mean, there's been a big gap between the last time Belynda was on here and stuff like that. Obviously, I haven't been doing a live in there, whatever. But Belynda always knows how much I love and care about her, and how much she always has. Anytime Belynda ever says to me, Sonny, you know, are you going to be doing a live? And she wants to talk about something, always here, always, and always will be for Belynda. So yeah, but it was great to kind of have her on twice now. Feeling a little greedy on this one, but it's for a good cause. So again, next Saturday, we'll do, like I said, a Jack and Lily-a-thon for Belynda there, for this. And, like I said, we'll, see if by chance, Chelsea, see if, see if my, other sibling wants to join us, come on, bring it on. Right. I feel like I'm the older one, so I can boss her around. I mean, Chelsea, that is. But anyways, it will be great if she does. If she doesn't, we won't hold it against her. At least not, for under a year, we won't. But yeah. So, we'll make it a good life, a great life, to be honest with you. And again, in honor of Jack and Lily, remember, okay. So what Sonny needs to do is I'm going to go give the toilet a drink, and then I'm going to get I got a drink here. I'm going to vape on my way to the bathroom, and then I'm going to vape all the way back over here, and then I'll come see you guys again. Okay. So can you guys just hang out for a minute, and I'll be right back, like 2 minutes tops. Okay. I'd play you a song, but I don't want to scare any of you guys away. And then we're going to get into Jack and Lily again. Okay, guys. I get quiet in public, Sonny. Psst. I can bring that shell right off you. No problem. It's like sitting around a table and just chattering. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm on a live. Oh, But anyways, I'll let your mom talk to you by hand if she needs to, the backhand or the forehand, whichever. We'll see how that works out. And then we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and put the pressure on you. Your mom might. No, I will. No, just if you want to, it would be great. If you can't or don't want to, that's fair enough. You do a great job in the channels, putting your voice out there for Jack and Lily. Sonny, thank you for always being Belynda's biggest supporter. You have been so kind right from the beginning. Oh, thanks, Root Strength. I appreciate that. And thank you for that super chat the other day. Okay. Hey, it's just 1:15 short. Oh, you tell it like it is. Okay. How about you guys get that GoFundMe over 3,000 by the time I get back in 2 minutes? But anyways, okay, guys, and then we'll get back into it. So I'll be right back. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like and share for Jack and Lily, please. Thank you. Oh, and this is for that POS channel. I'm just going to put that in there too, because I'm such a joke. And, this whole channel just caused all the drama and all the, whatever. Anyways, that was for him. That's a special. That's the special. You're number one, buddy.
Flashing lights dance with fire in the night and wide. Watch the time pass us by. Is this feeling lying? Could you pass the lighter? Yeah, I'm trying to keep my cool. Nicotine in my veins, flaming up desires. What am I supposed to do? Cause it feels so good. Feeling wild like a zoo. Put me in a mood. Put me in a mood. Maybe I should've known that it ain't real. How'd you know how to get into my feelings? You're a trip giving me hopeless solution. Hopeless solution. Baby, I should've known that it ain't real. How'd you know how to get into my feelings? You're a trip giving me hopeless solution. Hopeless solution. hopeless solution. Hopeless solution. You're a trip giving me hopeless solution. Hopeless solution. Yeah. Moving through all my feels, you're blurring out my vision. Watching your every smile like your television. In your eyes I see myself, I'm falling. Make it make sense, it must be the temptation speaking. What am I supposed to do, cause it feels so good. Feeling wild like a zoo, put me in a mood. Put me in a mood. Maybe I should've known that it ain't real. How'd you know how to get into my feelings? You're a trip giving me hopeless solution. Hopeless solution. Maybe I should've known that it ain't real. How'd you know how to get into my feelings? You're a trip giving me hopeless solution. Hopeless solution. Hopeless solution.
Okie dokie. I am back. I will hit refresh just because I said, let's see if we could get over. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. There was another anonymous recent $10 donation. So we're at 2,895 and we'll check back to that in just a bit. Again, thank you to everyone that has donated to the GoFundMe for Belynda and the cause for Jack and Lily. We'll put Jack and Lily's, we'll come back to that. Thank you guys. Anyways, okay. So let's get in back to talking about Jack and Lily. So so in chat, I'm curious, okay? I feel like that the blanket and who planted the blanket is absolutely person or persons that had something to do with Jack and Lily and the disappearance, because the blanket has always bugged me, because I mean, I think it would bug everyone. And there's some people along the way that have said, like, why are you so hung up on the blanket? Like, and some people have said that, like, the blanket doesn't really mean anything, type of thing, blah, blah, blah. Now, to me, the blanket has always been the blanket. Nice, nice, nice. Yep, 105 away. Has always been a very important thing. Hold on, Chelsea's saying something. Hello, sister. Thank you so much, Sunny, and all the supporters. Just call me sis from now on. You just take Sunny, just shorten it, sis. All the supporters for being here for Mom. You have no idea how much it means. Absolutely do. And again, for everyone in here, regardless of a donation or not, again, just hitting the like there for Jack and Lily's case and just for being here. And again, I'm always going to be on subscriber mode for now until I deem I don't want to, because I just really feel like the subscribers deserve, to be seen, and not all the people that aren't subscribed. Again, if they want to be able to chat, then subscribe, right? And that's the bottom line of it. And it's not about how many subs I get and stuff like that. It's just simply about, I think that is fair. And I'm always about being fair. And I think that the subs have the right to have their messages seen, first and foremost, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm doing it that way from now on. I think that you guys would agree that that seems fair. People that maybe aren't subscribed don't, but it doesn't matter. They can still listen and watch and see what's being said. So again, thank you guys all for being here. Okay, so I've always felt that the blanket was a huge part. You like that song? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's not a copyright one. I'll see at the end of the live if it was or not. I don't think so, though, because I have some of them set in my thing. But if it is, whatever, then I'll have to remove it. But as for, I just picked one. I figured I'd give you guys at least something to listen to. Lily and Jack, absolutely. I can see here. I saw a comment by Belynda Believes. She says, I saw a comment. Maybe it was Janie who planted the blanket. I did not think of that at all. You didn't? Well, I mean, the chances that Janie planted the blanket, but uh, run around and desert you. I desert you. Thanks to Anna Still for becoming a member. True Crime. It's a crime and shame member. Again, you don't have any slow mode time, and you can use the emoticons that are out there as well. But thank you for the support, you guys. Appreciate. Okay, certain individuals are watching searchers in the know and they don't want their secrets found. Says Patriot. Um, it does. It does because if you know who planted it, would tell who's involved. Absolutely, absolutely. I love your name, Chelsea. It's so unique and beautiful. I know. I think at the start, like a lot of people were saying Chelsea and stuff. They were getting her name wrong, kind of like Malaya's name, right? A lot of people misspell that. Well, a lot of people still spell Belinda's name with an I, but it's with a Y. The Belynda Gray that's been up on the lives. But anyways, so a lot of people would get Chelsea's name wrong too. I even once I said it Chelsea, and then in a live I called her Chelsea at some point. I remember like long time ago now. Beautiful name, and I have what'd you say as well? And I like not having a common name. Mine's Anise, pronounced Anise. Okay. Oh, I was calling it Anisil because of the L. And then, so I thought it was like Anisil and Jill. So now I know it's Anise. Okay. There, got that right. Right. I got that one right, didn't I, Attica? Thank you for the chat. I appreciate all you do. Love for Jack and Lily 007's in the house. What if someone wore gloves and planted it? We would expect to only find those that live in the home. How will they? Well, that's the thing, right? Okay. So let's I want to go. It could be the same person. Hey Hunter, let me ask you. Are you afraid of ever getting on a live? Check the GoFundMe. Okay. I will. Are you ever afraid of getting on a live, or are you just not a live person? Because, if you ever wanted to come up and sit here and talk about Jack and Lily's case, because I know how much you do care about it, you are more than welcome to. The offer's there. I'm just, some people, it's just not their thing. Right. I bite. That's all you need to know, really, to be honest with you. My grandmother named all her daughters uniquely. Mom did the same with me. I was almost Megan. Oh yes, ma'am. Really? What you talking about? What you? No. Oh, wait. Oh, what? Hold on. Hold the fort. Stop the screen. Jack and Lily, you're gonna need to come down for a second. Share screen. GoFundMe. Let's see what we're talking about here. Refresh. Okay. Oh, is mine. Oh. Anonymous 411. Anonymous. Did that twice. All that went through my brain was, you guys know, like in Canada, like if you want to look up a number, it's 411. And then in my head, all of a sudden I went to like 911. Anonymous. I have to say it twice. Anonymous. Thank you so much for those donations. Thank you for helping reach the goal and then some. Is yours tripping out? Okay. So $3,306. Thanks to you beautiful people. That's crazy. But that is twice even. That's crazy. Or was it twice? Like, right? Because it was 895. No, I think it. I'm not sure actually. Hi, Sammy. I'm not sure because it says because I'm okay. I'm just trying to think a lot. Hold on. We'll just see if maybe GoFundMe is messing up here. Who in chat here donated that? Anonymous. Because I'm thinking, hold on. If it was 2,809, hold on. Where's my calculator, people? Hold on. Where's the calculator? 1 second here. Calculator. Because I'm wondering if it is glitching. Hold on, calculator. I should be able to figure this out, but you guys, honestly, when I get up early in the morning and by this moment, hold on. So 2 8 no 0 2895 plus 411 equals 3306. So I think it's glitching out by showing it twice because if you add it once, that exactly comes to 3306. Okay. Because I was going to be like, I mean, 411 is an amazing donation, but I think it's glitching out there. And Belynda said, I think you said you're seeing it 10 times. Oh, there's Belynda. Belynda, I reached the goal that I wanted to and above so far. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Thank you all for doing this. That doesn't make sense. It was only 105. Right. So their top, yeah. Okay, their top donation. Now wait, Hunter, did you ever answer my question? Sammy, did I thank you for the super sticker? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Look how bright, vibrant red that is. I just want to see if Hunter answered my Hunter, did you answer me? No, I don't see one. Unless I'm blind. Hunter is awesome. One of the best channels on YouTube. You got a kudos. Anyways. Hunter, Tyler, top to me. Anyways, bottom line is, Hunter, if there's ever a time you ever want to join up here, talk about Jack and Lily's case, I'm your gal, just saying. You my man. Anyways, thank you guys so much. And for that update. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this up there. Because Jack and Lily are in this picture anyway. What's with the I see. I'm getting sound effects when somebody's donating. It's like, but where's the sound? Usually there's a song that plays, but I'm gonna have to check that out. Anise, you're just doing that because I said your name right this time, aren't you? Thank you, Anise. That's a nice name too. I do like different names. The only thing about different names though is nowadays it doesn't matter because nowadays you can just get whatever name and game, but you would ever go into a store and you would never see your name, right? And then it would be like, you'd see everybody else's name, but wouldn't see yours. But nowadays it doesn't really matter, right? Just be like, hey, Timu, personalize this, right? Anyways, now that I got that straightened out, thank you so much for that super sticker there. Appreciate. Here, I'll put it up one more time. Thank you. And Hunter says, thanks, Sonny. Oh, go on, Hunter. You can be my bro. Because the bro I have isn't, he's not a good bro. So you can be my bro. I don't even know how old you are. Maybe you could be my child. I had to do the donation twice because it had, with the wrong card store. It attempted it. Well, appreciate that. Again, you guys, obviously Belynda saw this as well and is very grateful. And like I said, next Saturday, for anyone coming in, we'll do the Jack and Lily-a-thon for this GoFundMe here. And like I said, we'll make it a good live, just a great live, all in all, right? And let's see here. Hey, Hunter, you're interested? You could be invited too. Just saying. Beautiful people, beautiful people. My daughter's middle name is Elise. I'm obsessed with it. Okay. Um, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Thank you, mods, too, for all you guys do. Belynda, truth and justice for Jack and Lily. Absolutely. Okay. So, okay. Who here, just put down who you think planted the blanket. Saturday. Yeah. I haven't decided the time yet because we just talked about it, Marie. But next Saturday, we're going to do a Jack and Lily donation-a-thon for the GoFundMe for Belynda. And yeah, and like I said, just talk about whatever, but make it a good live, right? You know? Okay. Baby monkey. Baby monkey. By the way, I love your name. I was always watching this little monkey show. A lot of times at nighttime, and Monkey BB on there. So whenever I see your name, I think of the Monkey BB channel that I would watch. They don't really do it so much anymore, but lots of times I watch little Lala. She was part of that. But anyways, thank you, Baby Monkey, for the super sticker. Belynda says, so much love and appreciation to you all. Thank you. And for anyone, I'm telling you this again, there's a lot of beautiful people in this world that do a lot of beautiful things. And not everyone can afford to make a donation. And that's fine. Again, just hitting that like button, keeping Jack's and Lily's stuff out there. But for all those people, I'm just going to say this, for all those people that want to take away from the good people out there, like they can suck it, kick rocks, kiss my ass, all that stuff. Because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's when something or people do something for really good reasons and they're not trying to take advantage of a situation and they're not trying to be a grifter or a leech and stuff like that, and they're doing it for honest, genuine reasons, I will support stuff like that all day long. So I'm glad there are good people out there, and for the ones that always want to tear things like this down and stuff like that, again, suck it, suck the big one for all I care. Because those people are going to come out and start bashing or something on Belynda or whatever, and this GoFundMe and whatever. Again, suck it. You guys are not stupid. The people that know Belynda know that she is genuine, and this is about Jack and Lily first and foremost. But just for those people, they can suck it, kick rocks. Okay, so Daniel, MBM's family. Okay, Daniel, DM's family, MBM's family. Oh, yes, ma'am. Think Shannon planted the blanket, obviously. Kemi says Daniel. Joe says Wendigo. Wendigo. Okay, sounds great. Perfect. Nova Nana says Janie. Daniel, but ... I don't know. No, again, it's just, what you're thinking, speculation on it. But everyone kind of has their opinions, definitely with this case. So just curious, about who people actually think, of course, did it. Haven't seen Daniel since he did the live with Charmaine and, well, mine the other day. I think Justin from Clutch Some Pearls just finished up my live yesterday, finally, after I think part 4. It was a good conversation in a sense. I just really was letting Daniel answer to whatever he wanted to answer to, talk and stuff like that. And people can take away with it what they want. Do I have some more questions? Yeah. Oh, Clutch Some Pearls live in 30 minutes. Breaking news report. Oh, Nancy Guthrie is doing a Nancy. That case I had been following. I still follow it, but not as intently as I was, because there's, when it gets to the point that people are just having lives. Well, no, I mean, there's always some updates, but it's one of those cases where JLR still covers the case all day long and stuff like that. And I know Justin's been doing Jack and Lily and Nancy Guthrie a lot as well. Nancy Guthrie is very sad case, obviously for people who know that case that's going on. Very sad case. That poor mother of Savannah, Nancy, is, yeah, she's just not alive. Um, but whenever case has a mysteriousness and type of thing to it, um, those ones always intrigue me. But first and foremost, I still would never want these situations to happen to anybody, but unfortunately, they do. No clue who planted it, just Ducky says. Grey Wolf Daniel, either MBM or Daniel. Belynda, great to see you. I think someone on a four-wheeler planted it. Yes, ma'am. Marie, same. Daniel searching with Pathfinder before 911 was called. Uh, Wendigo, maybe Bigfoot. Dowdy, yes. Closest I ever get is Chelsea. Gypsy, laughing at Joe. Julie, I don't have a clue, but if they find out who can start to unwrap this case. Uh, Thing is that everyone in that house's DNA is going to be on there. Daniel, Malaya, Jack, Lily, perhaps even Meadows' DNA, right? So obviously, if say Daniel planted the blanket, well, duh, his DNA is absolutely going to be on there anyway, right? And so that's a tough one because it's all about footage in a case like that, and of course they're not dumb, it's who was likely to plant the blanket. MBM could have planted it while Daniel was out searching. Mm. Well, so I took it to my good friend AI, because I like I said, I like to talk to AI. Actually, I love AI in lots of ways because I love that fact that you ask it certain things. If you ask it broad things, obviously, but I specifically try to ask it to be factual with the information. And there's some still things that are not quite right with its times and stuff. But I do like going to it because it's like having your own personal police officer kind of in your home when you want to ask it certain questions. Daniel could have planted as he drove MBM's Pathfinder. Sorry, that is a yawn. He searched before 911, or maybe that was the car heard during the night. Anise says, I don't think it's MBM or her immediate family, but someone on the side of the pendulum who's not in the spotlight. Okay. Joe Neal, yes, he is. I have a friend whose dad heard him. Oh, I don't even know what Joe asked. Joe, what Joe? I don't think Malaya did shit other than let her kids be abused. She's not a schemer. All right. Okay. So I do want to go to our good friend AI. When I asked it this last night, do I need my glasses? Does Sunny need to pull out her old lady glasses? I think so. 1 second. Let's take a little looky. Okay. So I said, using logic, who do you think hypothetically planted Lily's blanket in the tree and why? And then it says, to answer this logically, we have to look at the geography and physics and the discovery of the behavior of the people involved. The pink blanket is one of the most contentious pieces of evidence in the Sullivan case because of where it was found, roughly 1 kilometer away from home, snagged in a tree on the very first day of the search. The physics problem. If we assume the children wandered off at approximately, see, like it will have 9:40, as the parents claimed, it's not really accurate a little bit there, and the 911 call was made at 10:01. A 6-year-old child would have had to travel 1 kilometer up the hill down and through the dense trees. Well, obviously it would be more down the road. Okay. Uphill Nova Scotia brush in about 20 minutes. Logic, but still, even though, like, again, this is just a bit off in time, we still have to remember that Janie's time that she's saying she heard the kids, and that Daniel and Malaya said between 8 and 8:30 was the last time that they had heard the kids. And remember, I've asked Daniel so many times about the hour gap there, right? Because obviously there's a huge difference between 8:30. Now, DT kept making up excuses for everything, to be honest with you. Um, and it was just, like brain numbing that someone could make up excuses for every action of what happened that day, to basically say that, you know, oh, well, some people just don't remember time well, or this or that and this, but it was for everything. And I'm like, but all you're doing, dude, is making excuses for every bit of time. But the thing is that there is time there where it's unaccounted for, right? And this is the time that Jack and Lily could have had something or planting going on, right? I mean, I'm talking about just being logical, right? Doesn't mean it make it true, but it's looking at the logic of it. So, regardless, Janie's time puts the kids that she's heard them, right? But all three of them have claimed to have seen and heard Jack and Lily that morning, putting it so that, Thursday night and into the morning, pretty much, that those children were still out there and around. Okay. So logically, that is nearly impossible for a child to do so while being silent enough that parents 50 feet away didn't hear them struggling. Or I guess lots of things, noise. I remember still when Darren made that comment, whether it's true or not, when he talked about how, about Janie shushing the kids, and that basically something about the dog barking or whatever. But there was a lot more said about it than just say Janie saying that she heard the kids. And that was according to Darren. And at that time, of course, Darren is kind of speaking for Janie at this point. But again, it gets a little bit thick. So it says, and then it says, who hypothetically planted it? If the blanket didn't get there by Lily's hand, the most logical who would be Daniel Martell. The searcher role. In the early hours of the disappearance, Daniel told media he was frantically searching the perimeter in his vehicle while Malaya stayed with the baby and waited for police. This gave him a window of unobserved time in the immediate vicinity before the RCMP established a perimeter. The discovery, according to a witness statements and local reports, a blanket was found by a group of searchers that reportedly included family member. Finding a specific item so quickly in a massive forest often suggests the searcher knew exactly where to look. Because, Daniel's always blaming Haley, but it wasn't just a searcher. It was multiple people. So it's not just one. So this is kind of where AI is getting, not quite full of the proper facts. Why would someone plant it? If forensics profiling, staging a piece of evidence, serves three logical purposes: directing the search, the red herring. By placing the blanket 1 kilometer away, the perpetrator forces the RCMP and the search and rescue to center their search grid around that tree. This effectively pulls police away from the actual crime scene, the house, or a different disposal site. Establishing a mobile timeline. The blanket proves that the children were alive, moving after they left the house. If the children had actually been hurt inside the house hours earlier, the perpetrator needs proof that they were out in the woods to support the wandering story. Explaining the scent. If a search dog later tracked a scent toward the tree, the planter can say, oh, of course, that's where the blanket was. It creates a false trail, confirms the staged narrative. The logical conclusion. If the blanket was planted, it was likely done after the event, but before calling 911 or during the first 30 minutes of the search. The most likely candidates is someone with high mobility, a vehicle, and intimate knowledge of the woods surrounding the property. Daniel Martell fits this profile more closely than Malaya, who reportedly focused on the infant and the 911 dispatch. And let's see here. Okay, and then I'm fine. Okay, so then I mean I did ask it more, but anyways, um, so that's the thing, right? About this is that blanket to me absolutely is a planted blanket. Now, who had the means, motive, and opportunity to plant that blanket? Well, Daniel did. That is true. He was in the vehicle. He was out there searching around. He put Malaya back at the trailer. How come messages keep disappearing? I don't see messages disappearing unless, ignorant stuff is being said, then, a mod might, but I don't know. I don't see any. Dawn, someone can remove, right. Some people do that. Retract. Um, let's just see here. Daniel was going to command center many times at the search. Odd. A lot. Hey, Daph. Yes, his DNA would be, but other family members' DNA wouldn't be. Just a thought. Hello, Sunny in chat. Well, on that pink, you're talking about the pink blanket, like the one in the tree. I mean, obviously it was a blanket that was Lily's, and Malaya took down, but Daniel had ripped off, But the thing is that DNA would be, pretty much everyone in that home's DNA would be on that blanket from, but the thing, okay, the oddity of it is this, of course, a blanket that's in the garbage that has a weird storyline to it that Daniel, ripped off a piece of the blanket, right, before it was hung up. And that this blanket then gets put on a window, not the door, or hold on. No, the door, not the window. Gets put on because the different pink blanket is in the window in pictures, but that has nothing to do with the pink blanket. So it just comes down to basics about this. It's like someone staging it to look like, which I know like nobody really buys into this part, that someone then went into the garbage and took out this ripped piece of blanket that was supposedly on the rail and not in the garbage. And Daniel had said like it was at the bottom, right? Like you would literally have to dig down. But then when Janie talks about the blanket, right? About the fact that she saw Daniel putting the blanket, that would mean that it would be like stuffed on top, obviously. Because, right, she's saying like, don't stuff it too much or whatever she's saying. But then you have like from the article that Malaya put the blanket in the garbage. And then all of a sudden, so what? So then Daniel puts it. Now, two things can be true. But I mean, again, we're just talking about logic here. The fact that a blanket that's in a garbage bin and some random person, or even the fact that Haley, right, would put this blanket for Malaya's side of the family as if Malaya was the mastermind here to go hide two children that don't need to be hidden, because we're not talking about the father, we're talking about Daniel, the stepdad. There's no need of any of that. So the blanket, like I said, I've always said that Daniel has planted that blanket. And again, there's nothing that's going to take me away from that thought because I've already looked at all the thoughts. Again, does it make it fact? No. Does it make it my assumption? Absolutely. Why? Because there was means, motive, and opportunity to do that. Because he's the only one that placed himself in that entire area. And so, well, obviously, like, well, we'll get back. I mean, again, this case just gives you a headache. But the chances, okay, so let's just eliminate Haley from planting that blanket. At least I am, okay? That is absurd that Haley or anyone in the family from Leia's side comes around after the police are already there and decides to go into the garbage and go plant something so that they can have this whole deceptive maneuver. Okay, I've talked to Haley many times. There's no, like, maybe she doesn't, of course, sit there and tell me everything, but do I deem Haley as being deceptive? Not at all. What I deem Haley as is someone who has a child of her own, is pissed off, upset at first, pissed off about, how her sister and that is acting, and of somebody that's missing two children, and just somebody that gets upset and, has spoken, like I said, multiple times, to me. So there's nothing in there at all that I see where Haley is anyone that remotely planted this blanket. That's a narrative and a directive towards to look the other way. But again, the fact that anyone besides someone on that property would go and place that blanket in a tree. Did Jack and Lily place the blanket in the tree? Absolutely not. Right? They're not going to wander off down that road, not be seen by a vehicle, and then throw a blanket in a tree that they dug out of the garbage. Remember, Daniel said that there was a hole in the garbage. Right? So this is one of those things to me, is that this isn't brainiac work here. It's like, to me, that, like, obvious as shit that nobody would go into a garbage, punch a hole in it from Malaya's side of the family, and go sit there and try to distract while Malaya hides her kids from two children that she doesn't need to. Right? So yeah, I mean, the stories have turned outlandish and, ridiculous in certain ways for sure. But let's get real here. Again, who had the time, who had the opportunity, but what was the motive? Well, I mean, obviously the motive would be to distract from the truth. But just to even have to say out loud that a blanket supposedly was in a garbage and somebody punched their hand through it to go plant it in a tree. The only place that, to me, that's coming from is from somebody on that property. And it's that simple. Now, I'm going to look at your comments. Well, actually, give me a sec. And I'm just going to give me 1 second. I'll be right back. And I'm going to look at your. Such a moron. I'm sitting there muted and going, hey, Duff. Chelsea, I don't think you know that word. Don't lie. Tone out through that. What are you guys all talking about that? Anyway, be right back. I see this comment and I love you back. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm vaping my face off, by the way. That's what I'm truly doing, just so you know. And I'm staring at something I bought today. Okay. That was my vape. I want to show you what I bought today. Can you see it? Okay, so it's like a chocolate. duh. But anyways, it's like a chocolate bar. But as soon as I seen so this is what happened. I'm going to tell you the true story. So after work, I went to Fresh Street with my husband, and he went to go trade in his jar of tandoori because that one was opened. So I just had said to the lady, I said, "How much is this?" Right, because it was right there, at the counter, or well, it wasn't at the counter, but on the shelf that was beside the counter. And so I was like, "How much is this?" She scanned it and she said $4.98. I was like, "Well, that's a bit much," but I bought it because I couldn't help but think of Lily and the unicorn that's right there on there. So my husband, while he was getting the thing, I said, "Yeah, I'll get it. I'll just put it in my bag here," because I had my lunch bag thing with me. And I said, "He'll never know anyway." And I remember as we were leaving, he goes, because normally he always looks at the price, because every time we go to Fresh Street, just for small things, it's instantly $40 all the time. $40, $40. And then he goes, "I didn't even see how much that was." And I was like, "Oh, it was $34, which it was. Right. It didn't even phase him that I paid $5. Little does he know that I actually got it. But I paid $5 because of the unicorn. And well, not true. It's not just because of the unicorn. It's because I read it and it said milk chocolate with strawberry cream and a butter biscuit. So I was like, "You're worth it." And the unicorn is what sold me on getting it. Just saying. Okay. I have a screenshot where he says, sorry if that's making a lot of noise. Screenshot where he says he speaks from his own reputation, saving and his own children's sake. Now he says he does it for Jack and Lily, wondering when that changed. Thank you, another Cheryl, by the way, for being here. But it's cadaver dogs are drawn to the scent of decomposing it. And I said to Daniel many times on that live that my thoughts have not changed. There's nothing that, after thinking about this case, does it mean I'm right? No. But the most logical scenario is that this is family involvement from the property. That's the most logical scenario. That's based on stats. That's based on what we've witnessed. That's based on everything. But again, if Daniel had stuff to say and wanted to say stuff, whether you believe him or not, I was just letting the man speak regardless. And it's, like I said, so it wasn't about, oh, I got to throw out these hardball questions. But again, it wasn't like I was prepared for that live. If I was prepared, I definitely would have brought up more of the inconsistencies, because he said he was willing to talk about any of them. And it's just a matter of either you believe him or you don't, right? Either you believe Malaya or you don't. Either you believe anyone or you don't. It doesn't matter. So it just really comes down to listen, take the information, and then either, toss it away because you think it's a bunch of BS, or you take tidbits from it, kind of like with Anita, right? It's kind of like that show a little bit, or that book, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest a bit, right? She's very dramatic, outspoken, has a lot of things to say that are off the charts, off the wall. But I'm looking for the tidbits that could possibly be truth, throughout that. So that's all I care about, is when I'm listening to people, is what am I taking away from this? Someone speaking, and it's not a bunch of these, like, say, rumors from outsiders. And when I say outsiders, I'm just talking about people that are not part of the family or the friends group, but you kind of want to hear all that stuff that's being said and kind of just keep drawing your conclusion of what you feel. That's really what it boils down to. So Janie, Daniel, Malay, and the kids would have DNA on the blanket, but if they found others' DNA on there, knowing they haven't been there, then they got their answers. Absolutely. Now, Daniel, so I was told by family, I'll just say by family, that when the DNA came back from testing of the blanket, that Daniel was, of course, called in. Now, we did know he was called in. And the reason for that is because of the the suspicion or whatever of Daniel being the one that planted the blanket. So take that with a grain of salt, but I don't even need to hear that in a sense. That when the blanket came back, Daniel was brought in, and that it's believed that he's the one that planted the blanket. Like, I feel like Daniel is the one that planted the blanket at this point. It's the only logical conclusion that makes sense because him and Haley, like Daniel had said on the live, Daily or Haley basically has said this, that when she got there, Daniel was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and that, and on drugs. And I was also told um, by about where the drugs were in the home, which was in the little man kit in the bathroom. And so, again, I'm not here to try to force Daniel to say nothing that either is truth or untruth. I'm just looking at like what I'm being told from people, right? And so that's why in my head, when we hear that Malaya called her mom, and I'm not sure if it's 11 o'clock time, honestly, or if it was a time during that night, but that Malaya had woken up and Daniel was doing drugs in the bathroom, and sorry, not Haley, that Malaya had called her mom, but Haley had said about that day when it was like, when she said to Malaya, like, what the fuck is going on? And Malaya said that Daniel's been doing meth ever since Meadow was born. And basically, I was told that it was one of those things where Malaya, it was her opportunity, basically, like, you can be looked after. You can, did it get out of get out of this home, and da. Yeah, Daniel says, like, people were accusing him, right? Which Daniel had said himself about, lie detector tests, and because the family is accusing him of having something to do with Jack and Lily, right? And so it begs to differ when you start thinking about, like, in our brains, you're trying to think about, okay, so Malaya leaves and doesn't come back, but yet she gives this interview that is weird. And then you think to yourself, okay, so did Malaya just play along with what she was told to say? And then she hightailed her ass out of there, because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't, to think that if Malaya was truly part of something that happened to Jack and Lily, that she beelines. Normally you stick together. And then the other oddness about this case is that a stepfather, is putting himself out there. That's weird. I mean, there's a lot of weird statements that he had said along the way about looking for them as long as it takes, or forever. But there were some weird statements, but those are from a long time ago, and I'd have to find them again, right? So the fact that a stepfather is coming to the public, either you take it as that you're just trying to deceive us, or you're being legit and honest in maybe what you're saying, But the thing is that all this cuckoo wackiness has, and the statistics, it usually goes in that favor. Whenever something is weird and off, or there's inconsistencies and lies, it's usually not, rocket science of what we're trying to see. And that's usually deception, right? And it's like I said, when Daniel's on the live, like I said, my thoughts have not changed. One day the truth is going to come out with regards to Lily and Jack, and this might be the correct answer. It might not be. At the end of the day, Daniel can speak whatever his truth is that he wants to say, whether it's true or whether it's not true. It's from his lips to God's ears, right? But the bottom line is that when you look at this case in a, like, what I deem is just a logical fashion, about a timeline that doesn't make sense, It's like been pulling teeth and the inconsistencies and all these absurdities about, right, about how two children could go missing during this short time frame that they've given us from their own timelines. I've always only used their own words, right? And their own words, though, don't make sense. But going back to the blanket, again, no random person is okay. Haley did not punch a hole in that while the police were there and the searchers were there to go plant that blanket. What would be the purpose of that? Would not Malaya's kids at this point, a year later, have been found had somebody not said something? Right? So that's where you keep going back to Occam's razor. The most logical answer is the path that's right there in front of you. You know, Barry Morphew's case with Suzanne Morphew. Plant something this way to distract, to put them on a different path, but you should be looking this way. But the thing is that blanket to me is one of the most ridiculous planted items that someone would think to even do, because the blanket, the rest of it is in the garbage bin. It's not like the rest of it, like this piece of blanket was torn off and then it was, like I said, put up. So how long was that blanket sitting for on the rail? Let's say it was on the rail, right? This torn piece, because obviously it was used for a while. So it's like, again, it's common sense. So who else would have logically come in and planted a blanket and had the time and opportunity to do it? Right? So the answer does lead back to Daniel, in my personal opinion. I don't think that Janie was hopping on the wheeler doing it. I don't, you know. I honestly don't. I don't think it was Malaya. But the weirdness that she left, it makes you wonder, right? When Malaya left, but yet she did that interview to say that she heard the kids and all that stuff. I believe that that's a lie. But I also believe that she was assisting with the lie. And then she wanted the fuck out of there. And then she took down Daniel's Facebook, because I believe that Malaya absolutely knows what happened. But she put us out. But then you have to see, and then you take your brain and you go, but why then, if she left, why wouldn't she then go to the RCMP and then, you know, be of assistance to, yes, there was a vehicle, you know, at night and, you know, all that assistance. But that's not really what we've been hearing from that side. It's almost like as if obviously she's going to get certain updates, right? But it's like, if Malaya knows the answer to the vehicle leaving and all that stuff, then you think that Daniel would be arrested and stuff right now. But so this is where it's just weird. It's because it's so full of mistruths to me that the truth is buried amongst all the lies and all the deception going on. And you try to rack your head around it. And it's just hard because, again, the truth is buried between so many lies. 1 second. In my opinion, the kids didn't plant. There's no way for them to reach into the trash bin. Absolutely not. It was definitely someone who knew it was there and someone who was up to no good. Find who planted and find the answers. Yeah. Well, I think the RCMP do know who planted it. I still think it becomes about evidence and lack to prove a case. And, you know, like, to me, I just feel like this isn't fooling me, all the missing person, the way it's left in missing persons and stuff like that. I just don't think that it's at a point where they can prove that it's criminal, but they know that it's criminal. Dodie may be the worst gloves, so it would be 100%. Dodie, especially since no family came to visit at Cindy and well, let's talk about this for a second as well. I know I'm behind in my chitter chatters here, but let's talk about this. Belynda kind of made a comment yesterday, about how she's actually like more angrier in a sense, as because obviously you go through different stages, right? At first, you're just heartbroken, panic, sorrow, just waiting to hear answers, and you're just fighting for answers for Jack and Lily. Then you start moving into anger, for how long it's taken, to watch all the shit that goes on in cases during that time and stuff like that. But let's talk about, say, again, Cindy's actions and Malaya's actions. Does this come at all across like people that are just sobbing beyond repair, and or are they complacent? I think when Cindy was talking to Darren, and Cindy had said to Darren, like basically, whatever Malay does, she's responsible for, and she needs to fix her shit or whatever like that. I think that Wade and Cindy have especially Wade, I think that they have an absolute inkling that Malaya's lying and BSing about this all. I think that they know the answer, that Jack and Lily are not alive. But I also think that, family members easily let the RCMP do their job, figure it out type of idea. But it's just like a mother. How many times I gotta repeat this one, right? A mother that's not showing any sort of, this pressure to come out and speak, and about her children, and about wanting to continue the searches. And same with the grandmother. She doesn't want her face to be seen, but yet they're not really doing anything in public. They're not talking at the vigils and stuff like that. Like, normal. Like, I'm just talking about, put all this shit together and you just go like, yeah, okay. Right? Because these aren't normal things that people do. And so just add it to the whole, BS, say, timeline, and add it to the actions, and add it to the statistics. And what do you got? Right? You got family involvement. Now, to what extent each one has, I can't say. I don't know. I still think that, that the person that planted the blanket is Daniel. And then it's just a matter of the truth coming out. Will it come out? Will people piss each other off enough? Will we get answers from the RCMP? Will they find enough evidence if that's the way it goes? Because, Janie and Daniel, the other night, Janie has said they never got abducted by no stranger off the road, right? But then they were all full force with Darren on this whole, well, Daniel was Malaya and Cindy anyway, but then this whole new whole thing came out, right, about seeing a truck and and it just all morphed into the fact that Malaya's side simply kind of hid the kids. But at this point, you don't feel like that's just I think a lot of people understand now that that's kind of ridiculous that a year's gone by, right? We have Anita telling us stuff, whether it's true or not. Malaya on the phone, say tax credits, Cindy trading in her vehicle, Malaya acting like her two children aren't missing, and stuff like that. So is that some of that regurgitated information from the case? Or is it truly known? Because most people at this point aren't really believing a lot of what Anita's saying, because she's coming across like a cuckoo clock, right? Like, I don't think she realizes it, but she's coming off like she's kind of a bit, out of like insane, like getting herself into a muck of a mess, which reminds me of Darren, right? You start off and you're trying to listen to him and stuff like that. And then it turns into One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest that way too. Was it ever confirmed that the blanket had been on the? Well, someone said yes to that. Um, so I don't know 100%, but because that came from Cheryl Christine, when she was talking about it on Hidden in the Fogs thing, I'm more apt to believe that that's true, that Daniel ripped it off and it ended up hanging over the rail. I don't believe it was in the same bag as the bigger piece of the bag. So I'm more apt to believe, but someone had come in the next day after I talked about that and said that Malaya confirmed it. But to me, if Cheryl was going to make that comment about that piece of the blanket was hanging over the rail, to me that only could have come from Malaya for her to say that. So it's however you perceive Malaya, that she could just be full of shit herself. I'll be very curious in all of this. What if the theory that I have that I think is true? I'll be very curious in all this where Malaya's role actually was. Did she have knowledge? Are they covering up? But that's strange. I'll be very curious because it's been so diluted in that part of it. It's really hard to tell with Malaya. I think most people do feel that are on that same line of thinking that, that Daniel was the main person of doing something, and that Malaya knew or was part of, this Jack and Lily's disappearance, right? Uh, did the children get into drugs? Did they get into something that day? And that it was a cover up, was it unintentional or not intentional? Because, and I was talking with support with Steffa today, and, she was talking about the same thing. Like, I know Daniel says that these children were from a loving home and how much he loves kids and stuff like that, right? But but still the bottom line is that from everything we've heard, whether it's through documents or CPS reports, or people speaking about the home, these two children, I feel like how they're like this portrayal of being in this very loving home and that the children were taken care of good and da 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 da. I don't think it was that way. I think maybe delusional on that to what outsiders would say, versus how they would think about it. But I think there's a lot to be said about a really dirty environment, that even Wade talked about, that CPS, Lily yanking her hair out and stuff like that. The school, the black eyes. I think that these kids were not being watched properly. I feel like, and this is just my own thoughts, I feel like these children were kind of like put to the burner a little bit. I think that because Meadow's between Daniel and Malaya, I think that both of them are lazy, but I think that Malaya is the laziest of them all, in that relationship. I just really feel like she just has used her grandma, used people, allowed herself to basically be that lazy one that only had one job when she was 15 for a couple months or something, and everyone take care of her, right? And she just relied on, but I do not feel like these children were properly, say, taken care of. I feel like they fended for themselves a lot. I feel like they were able to get up by themselves, and that the parents were just laying in bed still. You know, I feel like there, which I said near the start, many sick days. And I feel like a lot of those sick days were, you know, some of them legit and others not. And if you're going to keep one home, let's keep the other. But I think that there's that weirdness that revolves around being told about a black eye on the day before their disappearance. And then the children just suddenly vanish all of a sudden and don't go to school of this. And, you know, the timeline of 9:40 to 10:01 when a phone call is, I mean, it doesn't seem reasonably possible that the children disappeared in a 20-minute span, but Janie didn't come out of her trailer, as she said, for 10 minutes, about 10 minutes after she heard Daniel yelling for the kids. And then, you know, knowing that Janie has a limp as she's walking, it's hard to look at that timeline and think that she trekked all the way up the hill, ran into Daniel, talked, and came back down. And then at 10:09, but she's accepting a phone call at 10:19, and then the police are there a few minutes later. Like, that's a crazy timeline. And I don't think that it was a true timeline of events, right? I mean, Daniel made a comment of that they believe something happened to Lily and Jack on Thursday, which is the most likely scenario. And it's not this window that does not make sense of 9:28, or sorry, 8:28. So between 8 o'clock and 8:28, the time that Malaya calls her mom. And then all of a sudden, but the children, so Lily comes in the room at 8:20. You're up at 8:28, but you're in and out of sleep, and you don't get up, you know, to get your kids breakfast or anything like that because you're too busy lying in bed, you know, with Meadow, and you're not worrying about the other kids. But I still don't know that that timeline is at all true. So you have Janie on the phone at 8:48. You got Malaya awake who tries to call her mother. So you're saying that you never went and even got up to check on your kids at all after that, you know? So anyways, I know I've missed a lot of comments. I'm doing fine. I'm okay. I know you guys have said a lot. I get on my little trail of thoughts that just run into things that, you know, and it's the things that I'm always thinking about. Hayden planted it after he dropped off Patty at MBM's. He grabbed it off the railing and threw it in the for Dad. Why would Hayden do that, Ruth? Why would Hayden do that? The point is that there's no reason to hide these children. There's no reason. There's no logical reason, especially after a year, right? Make it make sense, Root. True. It's just a weird post. And what time was it to distract searchers from where they were searching in a different spot? You know, I think of the different things, you know, like that said, you know, in the article from Lindsay from Globe and Mail, right? That Malaya is trying to blame everything on me, right? And however the wording exactly was. I think of the things that Darren said, where he said, well, the reason why Daniel lied is to protect Malaya. The reason why Daniel lied about this is, right? The reason why Daniel lied about blank, you know, and all that stuff just runs through your head because it's like, there's certain things people are going to make up, and there's other things that they're not. Now, they might misspeak something for sure, but again, that's where you just try to use the brain cells that God gave us and try to understand. I have no idea he knew exactly where it was in the garbage. I couldn't begin to tell you where the stuff is I put in the trash today. Maybe it was planted to distract searchers from the area they were at the time, but if someone finds it, then the searchers will get distracted to go look, if that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. You know, bottom line it was to me a distraction, to mislead, to misguide the truth of Jack and Lily. It's the only logical thing, you know, is that there's nothing else. Maybe if there was more footprints that were planted, to believe that that was Lily's out there. I mean, it still could be a planted boot print, but which it could be. I don't think Haley had no. I'm telling you, you know, if you're gonna believe somebody, believe me on this one. After, there's nothing about Haley that's trying to be deception. You know what I mean? She might not sit there and feel comfortable telling me a bunch of stuff, and I understand that, but she's also said a lot of stuff. We've had talks, but there's nothing there. There's just not. And again, but the person that's pushing that is Daniel. That's why I was asking Daniel, like, what's the beef? Why are you blaming Haley? Those are Haley's keys. Those are that Haley planted the blanket. Not only is it, trying to perhaps divert, but he's also pissed off at Haley, and kind of like the payback shit too, perhaps is the reason why he keeps saying Haley, or maybe it's a twofold thing. But he's pissed off at Haley for Haley accusing him. And so everything he says is typically about Haley, and that Haley is lying and stuff like that, right? This weird thing about this is like all these people taking polygraphs. Why? Come on now. That's the thing. Like, what's the chance? Like, this is what's hard to believe as well. What's the chances of Malaya passing polygraphs and Daniel passing polygraphs? What's the chances of those two both being able to pass polygraphs? I can see a narcissist passing a polygraph, but it's hard to think that two people are passing polygraphs. So maybe perhaps Daniel's the liar, Malaya's telling the truth. I find it hard to believe that both of them pass their polygraphs, and it still really sucks that Janie wasn't able to take a polygraph, with the whole regardless still about the children. One sec, I need to off my. I need a big swig of water. One sec. Whew, that water went down the wrong way. Chelsea says, see, it's the comment that from Daniel that confuses me. What part was on the back railing? We know RCMP collected the rest. Well, the part that was on the back railing was the small piece that Cheryl talked about. And to me, that information would have had to come from Malaya for that to even be said, that it was on the back or on the railing. So it was a small piece because the big piece was in the garbage. Um, I, I'm not sure when you say, see, it's a comment that comment from Daniel that confuses me. Because Daniel never said anything about a railing or whatever. I need my glasses, can't type. The way Daniel is lying, I would not put it past him. If no one else's DNA was on it, then why polygraph others? Right. I mean, there's things like that, right, Daff? Right? Like there's just things that, with the RCMP, like if people have information, and they're very interested when Daniel does stuff, right? Is it that what Daniel thinks and what's actually happening could be totally two different things, right? Like when he says, they told me, don't worry about it, Daniel, we have enough from you. All I see is, from my angle is, well, of course, they're going to make you feel comfortable. The case is just deemed as missing. They're looking for the truth. And if the truth takes long and if they have to play a part, like, act or, do what police do, then why are they so interested? Why was Daniel called in about the blanket and Malaya wasn't, right? Why are they interested in when Daniel, has been talking, stuff like that? So to me, that's just like the Luke and the dog, Narc. Like, Daniel might see it as weird, but I don't think most of us see that as weird. We see it as investigators doing whatever it takes to get to the bottom of what happened to Jack and Lily. Like I said, Daniel can say whatever he wants. From his lips to God's ears, Daniel knows his truth. Regardless if we don't believe him, Daniel still knows his truth within inside. Malaya knows the truth within inside, and probably others there. Do I think that like multiple people are involved in all this and stuff like that? No. So, either Daniel could be totally under like his own false pretense of feeling this, or he's just projecting. But at the end of the day, like I said, what the police know is so much more than what Daniel knows, what Malaya knows, what we know, besides what the obviously Major Crimes Unit is still involved in this case heavily. You think that if it was just missing persons and there was, no whatever, that they would have, backed off somewhat, regardless, kind of like when the FBI comes in and backs off, right? Like, to me, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, in my opinion, that this will turn criminal at some point. It's just, again, and they'll do it when the time is right, for this. But I just feel like they're looking for that someone to speak out. They're looking for someone to give actual answers where Jack and Lily are, for someone to admit to what they've done, whichever, or somebody that knows or has answers to what was done to Jack and Lily. Yeah, guys, makes you wonder, because none of those family members visited the trailer. So why polygraph them after the DNA was done on the blanket? Yeah, well, again, I think I still feel, for me, like I said, my answers haven't changed. is because they know the answers, but they need the proof. And they'll play their game. They'll play the long game um, until such time as they have proof. And if the second, uh, if the what would I want to say, the charges against Daniel perhaps are a way of them to, you know, go around, try to put a scare in a sense or a plea of some kind. We don't know, but a lot of us feel the same way about that, right? If the prosecution, you know, RCMP have evidence that's strong enough, they're not going to bring a case if the evidence is weak, right? The prosecutors won't sit there and take on a case if it's weak. So to me, they got strong evidence that's going to corroborate those charges. And again, but that's just, you know, a matter of time, wait and see what all happens. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, if I was Daniel, I'd be shitting bricks with those charges, you know, for sure. I have a screenshot of looks like pink blanket between trailer and RV too. Yeah. I think that was from a long time ago when I saw that, and it wasn't like the blanket. But then again, those pictures are all from helicopters and drones and stuff like that, if it's the same one. Now, so as for, you guys remember that Daniel said, I put 2 and 2 together. Oh, when they found the blanket there, that he put 2 and 2 together, right? And that then he remembered that the bigger piece was in the garbage. And then him and his brother Justin like recorded the blanket in the garbage and had called the RCMP, and then they came and got the rest of that blanket. But again, I just have seen this myself as planting and deterring and deflecting and trying to distract from the truth, you know? There's a cabin on the other side behind the property, also by the water/marsh, you know? Thanks, Daph. Like I said, you know, I mean, the fact that that mountain stayed on a 9-hour live, you know, crazy. You know, I was definitely not expecting that. But hey, he did. I know Justin went through every ounce of it pretty well. Usually when I was talking, he skipped forward, I noticed. Not always, but it was a long live, right? You're only going to sit there and try to show the things that, you know, listening to, or, you know, like that maybe have more importance or something like that. But at the end of the day, again, it was just about letting Daniel answer the question, saying what he wanted to. You know, I wasn't going to sit there and flip off on him and all that stuff, you know, bring up some things as they came, but there's more things, you know, there is still more questions that I'd probably like to have asked because it wasn't alive, but, you know, because it's been a while, it's been a year, you know, everything that I knew, you know, from the start, some of it just starts to fade a bit and you forget about certain things. Until you maybe see it again or hear about it again. And it's like, oh yeah, right. Or, oh yeah, right about that inconsistency and stuff. I'm worried that the RCMP are only focusing on Daniel and MBM is going to get away with. Oh no, Carrie. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about the RCMP that way. Sorry. I'm going to go back up. Daphne, even if 3 of them did not unalive the babies, the fact still remains the kids were treated poorly. I would never let anyone harm my children. Oh, absolutely. Um, again, right? A lot of this is in documents, in the facts and stuff like that, through whatever family members and stuff like that. It will all come out in the wash. But I would say don't be worried about um behind the scenes. I firmly believe that the RCMP know what's up. It is about the proof. This is why, again, you know, the tests are being done around family members. This is why they're very still interested in when Daniel's talking and what he's saying and stuff like that. They'll play the long game because they don't have what it takes to make charges. They don't have the evidence and proof to lay charges at the moment. But they wait and they wait. And they'll wait as long as they need to until somebody confesses, slips up, someone finds Jack and Lily somewhere. I appreciate that. Because I was expecting a lot of people to take a stripe out of me, in a sense. And for, like, again, when someone's up on my platform, I just want to talk to them. I want to bring up things for sure, obviously, with this case or any case. But I'm not going to bring Daniel up and then just out and attack him. It's one of those things. If Daniel's telling the truth or is inconsistent with what he's saying and changes his story, that falls on him for all his talking. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not the police or RCMP, but do I want to understand a truthful timeline? Because if people are so innocent, then why is a timeline so hard to tell? Why are memories and sleeping and all that, consistently coming up with this case? Right? The truth just, is like fluid. And so when it's not, for people to sit there and put pressure or heat towards Daniel or Malaya, well, again, maybe if we didn't see these weird actions and heard a truthful timeline from the start, that's when you have no problem kind of supporting the parents and, more believing that they had nothing to do with any of the, what happened to children that get murdered and missing and stuff like that, And because it's usually easy to read the genuine ones, and the ones that aren't usually are not fooling us because it's easy to tell. Remember Chris Watts? Remember that smirk on his face when he's just saying, I just want her to come back? He didn't even know how to fucking lie good. And that's what I think about, like, the blanket planting. But for the fact that the family members' DNA are on this blanket and there's no camera to capture certain pieces of a vehicle and stuff like that, to me, it was one of the most ridiculous things to think that a blanket ends up in a tree and that the people on the property had nothing to do with that, and some randomo comes along and punches a hole in the bag, even though it's perhaps probably on the railing. No, that's like what I would deem as a huge setup to a pretense. Because that, what, if it wasn't for that blanket, it would definitely be, more back and forth with stuff. But that blanket being there pretty much says it all about that this is absolutely was a planted blanket to stage and misdirect and lead. There's no way in hell that blanket would have got there without a human being placing it there. And it didn't just end up there at any day, it ended up there just dangling for anyone to see, because that's the point, is that you want someone to get misdirected and see the blanket. But to me, it was just the most stupidest shit ever that somebody would ever plant that and think that, you know, that it wouldn't be deemed as a planted blanket when the other piece is in the garbage can with a hole punched in the bag. I just don't think that that one was well thought through, for sure. And that in itself is very telling to me of what happened to Jack and Lily. You guys think so as well? I don't feel like I'm off my rocker on these thoughts. Sunny and Charmaine were the first true crime channel to cover Lily and Jack. Actually, that's not true. There was True Crime Grizzly in the UK or wherever she's from. Justin, Dolly. We were there within a week. I was following it from the start, but I didn't do a live. I did a live when Charmaine was back, so within the first week there. But as for a Canadian case, and being a Canadian myself and being a Canadian, person and channel or whatever, well, we cover the American cases, but I'm just saying we were the most definitely watched channel from Canada. Absolutely. We've had the most people talk on this channel from family members, and, so, I mean, that's what you want, but at the end of the day, sure, everyone's wanting to hear from this, but yeah, I mean, this channel is known for being one of the main channels that, talks about Jack and Lily's case, still a year later and stuff like that. But obviously at the start, like any case, you get a ton of people watching and stuff like that. And then, it dies off, and you hope that bigger channels are covering it still to bring awareness, because again, that's the whole part it's about. You just want people to cover it and keep the awareness out there. So when another channel grows from it, then great, honestly. But anyways, so not the first, but right around, close. Didn't Cindy record a video of inside the trailer? Marie, I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. DM could have been so high in psychosis and rage and fit with MBM leaving. Well, I mean, that's kind of how I've seen it, right? I mean, I've seen it a couple different ways. That the children could have gotten into drugs, gotten into something while they weren't being watched properly. But even the whole timeline of when Daniel went into the house and when Malaya was on the phone talking to her mother, Janie talks about how she just kind of went into the house and wasn't sure at that point where the kids are. Like, she went in for dinner. Like I said, it all just doesn't make sense. It all is wishy-washy, right? It's like not having a complete evening time timeline, in a sense, that it's all muddled. Daniel checking on the kids. I asked him if they were literally under the cover, and he said no, right? Because that's the way it kind of came across, was that, well, I checked on them, but didn't see their heads, but I could see that they were sleeping. But he said no, that the blanket was, up to here, couldn't see the clothes. But it's all this weirdness. It's a weirdness about Malaya waking up and Daniel was doing drugs, this events about a vehicle, leaving the property. I probably should. I'm so sorry that I'm going to miss a lot of questions along the way, but I know I'm effing way behind right now. Oh my God. Like a lot. Like a lot. Sonny, you should multitask better. No, make me. Suck at it. Has to be something where all three are collaborating. Collaborating. Am I saying that right? Yeah, collaborating. Yeah. CPS does not come to your home because your children are being well cared for. No. They came to the home because Lily was pulling her hair out, basically, right? I mean, kids, you know, when they show signs of distress and stuff like that, um, again, you are a product of your environment. Kids may be looking for attention that they weren't getting from home, because I don't think that they were well looked after that way. I think that they believe that they did a good job. I don't think a lot of the public would believe that they did a good job. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, the woods are so vast with broken trees, several mines. They are out there somewhere. I believe so. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Sunny, remember that text Daniel said I won't say anything if you don't? I have that. You're talking about the one with Haley, when he basically told her to shut up, or like I won't, like it was something like that. Actually, I was just looking at it the other day, and I showed it on my live on not yesterday, but the day before. I had showed that on my live. If you happen to go to the live or whatever, it's on like the blue, um, from the private chat. But anyways, yeah. But I believe that's what you're speaking about, when it's basically like telling Haley to shut up, and if you don't say nothing, I won't, type of thing, or something like that. No. Mm-mm. No. I heard the music go off, and it was a Rickroll, so I'm not sure if somebody's showing their membership. Um, but you guys, I'm so, yeah, this sorry, I know I keep clicking on Daph's here, but it's just that her name catches me as I'm scrolling. Yes, this takes the cake for Canada. This doesn't happen. It's not normal. No, it's not. It's not. There we go. Hi, Chris. How relaxed and calm are you after your break? Um, yeah, honestly, like, if it wasn't for the 1 year coming up that had come up, I probably still wouldn't be doing a live, at this particular moment. But the 1 year came up. I had put my channel or my StreamYard on pause. And so I joined Charmaine's live with Melissa for the 1 year. And then I felt like it was time. Um, because when I'm doing lives, right, I could sit here and talk for hours with you guys. You guys all freaking know that. Um, and it's like, that it's missing that interaction, of talking about Jack and Lily's case and stuff like that. And I always have to feel right doing something. So it kind of rejuvenated me to want to do lives again. And it's not because I was going to stay away forever, but I didn't know exactly how long I was planning on to. I was just going about my life, right? But I feel like it's time, that I came back, and thanks to the fact of Jack and Lily's 1 year, that kind of like pushed me. Because like I said, if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be doing a live today. And I've done enough. I've done quite a few. And the reason why I've done quite a few is because the rejuvenation is back, about talking about Jack and Lily's case, coming to see my It's a Crime and Shame, people that follow the channel and stuff like that. And yeah, so thank you for asking. I just scrolling. I don't. I'm getting hungry though. Patriot says, Daphne, you didn't hear about that. Jack's teacher that also worked at the liquor store was talking to a person about the kids. Then one day she's gone. Hmm. Thanks, Daph. Thank you. And Daph, by the way, I don't know because you were covering Nancy and I've done Nancy. Um, Congratulations on your big bump with your subscribers. Uh, for Nancy Guthrie. So I just held back. You know what? If anyone can miss a boat all the time, that would be me. I did it with I did the same thing with Idaho. As soon as it came out, I knew it was like going to be a fucking case and a half. And sure as shit, that thing just, for a lot of channels, it just pushed them, up many notches and stuff. Nancy Guthrie's case, again, another mysterious one, but I don't know. I just chose to sit back and watch and just keep paying attention to it, did some lives on it because definitely it's intriguing. It's not that I backed off of it. I just haven't been paying as much of attention to it because I know that I'm going to go watch some of Nancy Guthrie stuff today, though. See if people just hyping up a bunch of nothing or if there's actually something to listen to. But it'll be curious when the answers come out for Nancy's case on there. But anyway, so I just want to say congratulations on your sub count that's going up there and stuff like that. Again, these mysterious, weird cases, they're very intriguing to cover. Yeah, I'm obsessed. Justin says YouTube goes into clusters or something, showing channels. Um, you know what? It does. It does. But in saying that, too, a lot. I mean, YouTube's weird now, the way it works and stuff, with algorithm and all that crap. But you guys kind of, I think, do a portrait one as well as the regular one. So it's kind of getting views from both sides. But when people, especially when a case starts, though, right? Obviously that's when the subs just, come around, and Nancy's Guthrie's case did not lack that, for sure. No, neither did Idaho 4 and stuff like that. People just want to absorb all the information, and then of course it tunes down a bit. But my thing is this, at the end of the day, my channel will grow the way it grows because obviously it's my actions that are creating either lack of subs or more subs, and I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, the bigger your channel is, the more awareness, the more that it hits other people, and so again, if you're doing things for the purpose of doing it because you genuinely want to cover cases, and then people give donations or get views and stuff because of that, that's kind of like a win-win right there because you're doing it with integrity of your channel. And people that are, people can always read people that are being genuine in their actions. But to me, it's one of those things, I'll do things my way, and whatever comes about, as fast as it grows or not as fast as it grows is really dependent on my actions. Or, like you guys, I honestly, I don't sit there and do shorts. I don't sit there and do hardly ever TikTok at all anymore. I go through my spurts and stuff. But the one thing that I do think is important, even though I suck at it, is that the more people that view your videos, right, is bringing more awareness. And to me, that's what matters. Like I said, I go to my full-time job, and stuff like that. Other people, their job is YouTube. For me, it's something I get to do. And I also get to enjoy my outlet of talking with people because you guys know, I mean, I do this all day long for my job, and then I can I can go on forever sometimes for sure, you know. But it's creativity and art and stuff like that is my passion along with people. Um I just don't like dealing with horrible situations. That's where I struggle. Yeah, hashtags. I do hashtags. Yeah. Voiceless name out there. Yeah. I've always kind of done the hashtag thing. That's from, you know, whatever these big $1 million sub people are doing. Probably wise to go look at, well, they're going to get the views anyway, right? I mean, a lot of the things I watch is um, related to a lot around Mr. Beast in a sense, meaning that a lot of people ride off of Mr. Beast um, and have their subs and stuff. And usually when they're giving out money, it's usually to their friends in a big circle of this, but it's all a lot of it is just, you know, using Mr. Beast in a sense in a lot of ways and riding off of his content, you know, and stuff like that. So I guess you can take that as flattery or not, but I don't know. Kind of, it makes me kind of puke a little bit, I guess, just because it's like Mr. B. I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're like, can't can't do your own content and get this many subs. You have to keep riding off Mr. Beast shit all the time, eh? You know, that's how I think of that. Brian Enton is great. Absolutely. I can watch Vodka Boy and Lip Smacker. They turn me into an absolute troll. I've been watching a lot of Sidemen lately. Doesn't matter how many subscribers. I like the channel. That, you know, yeah. And again, big suck it to that POS channel, by the way. Freaking jealous asshole. But anyways, LOL. Whoops. Thank you for joining us. I went to go click on Belynda Believes. You know what, guys? Yeah, I'll do a live tomorrow. I don't work tomorrow. But I'm going to go eat, I think. Oh, did we get any more donations? Although definitely reached our goal. But again, if anyone, we're going to have, again, next Saturday, we're going to do a Jack and Lily-a-thon for Belynda for the GoFundMe here. You know, Belynda will be on, and maybe Chelsea. I'll just say maybe. Probably, you know, not going to hold my breath, but if she does, she does. So yeah, so we're going to have like a Jack and Lily-a-thon. You know, we're going to make it, you know, eventful fun in a sense, in ways of, you know, not just a basic boring live, but, you know, during the live, it's one of those things we'll be talking about it, you know, but that one will be specific for the Jack and Lily-a-thon, you know, to, of course, bring awareness and to assist Belynda in getting the temporary custody, whichever, for Jack and Lily. And she's a great lady. I appreciate you guys for the donations that you have given today. Again, if people have it in them or have the extra, you know, $5, $10, $15, whatever to donate, if you could, please do. If you don't, please hit the like and share, and keep them, keep their voice, you know, us being voices for them. So that will be next Saturday, but I haven't talked about a time yet. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to do that. And yeah, you know, if different people or different content creators want to join up on that thon that day to come talk, you know, with Belynda or something, you know, as we're on it, feel free, Daff, Justin, you know what, whoever wants to, like I said, I mean, not a whole bunch of people at the same time, but, you know, if during that thon, like I said, Daff, that you want to join up, say anything, you know, talk with Belynda, ask her anything or stuff like that, you know, just try to make it a really great live for a good purpose. So pass that on. um, to buddy Justin there. If you guys are interested, just letting you know next Saturday. Okay. It's probably good. I'd probably think that I would start it at like, you know, like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, maybe a little bit sooner, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, yep. We all want the same outcome. That's why, kind of like what I've said, I don't give a shit if you're on Daniel's side of the boat, Malaya's side of the boat. I don't care who's saying, who or who's talking to who or who's not, blah, 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 blah. Jack and Lily. It's about Jack and Lily and finding the answers. However that's done, that's the bottom line of it. The rest of it is just, like I said, don't care. Don't care. If people are searching, if people are covering the case, whatever, then yeah. But anyways, so I'm gonna head off tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go get something to eat, eat my face off, eat my chocolate bar, drink some water. And you guys, thank you guys so much for being here. So I'm just gonna say, Pinky, thank you for the $6.99 super chat, and thank you again for all you guys that donated. I'll go over that donation list probably in a couple of days from now if other donations come along as well. And just to say a big thank you once again, Anise, thank you for becoming a member. Sammy, 149 super chat. Anise, $20 super chat, appreciate. Baby Monkey, $2.99 super chat, and Chris Townsend, a member for 10 months. So thank you guys just all for being here. And with that being said, I know some people are going to believe I'm going to play on the way out. I'll play Jack and Lily's video from the other, like that I played the other day. And it, just I remember Jack and Lily, and in that video, it was about bringing them to life, because that's how they should be remembered, that these are 2 children that should be outside still playing and stuff like that. I'm on Jack and Lily's boat. May they get justice they deserve. Their voices will be heard loud and clear. Absolutely. Angelina, love you, Sonny. Thank you for all you do for Lily and Jack. Thank you, mods in chat. Appreciate that. Chelsea, thank you again for all you do and continue to do. Sonny, much love. Thank you, Sonny. Have a good night. Much love. Good night in chat, everybody. Belynda believes. Love you, Sonny. Thank you for always caring so much. Again, you know what? I like the person I am that is caring, that does care about people. And I love the fact when I come across people of that same caliber and hearts, so I truly appreciate those words for people that aren't trying to tear me down, right? When you're just trying to be as honest and sincere as possible. But it's okay. Those people that try to do that, because they can go fuck off. And but for all the people that truly are here for right purposes, to be here to show their love and support for this channel, for Jack and Lily, and for others in chat, wishing Rhonda a happy birthday and stuff like that, giving Chelsea, Belynda lots of hugs and all the different stuff. Thank you guys. That does mean a lot. Baby Monkey, I need food. Thanks for the great line. Have a good night, Sunny Patriot Girl. I'm just getting there now on Replay Crew. Okay. And thank you again so much for everyone showing support to find answers for Jack and Lily. Much love. And so many thanks to you all. Chelsea, don't worry, girl. We'll see each other on that live on Saturday next week. Yeah. Be there or be square, Chelsea. One of the two. That is a really sad song. Thank you so much, Sunny. It is. I know people are dropping like flies now because I'm saying goodbye, and they're off to go watch something else. So much love, Chelsea, to you and your mom. Chelsea, thank you, Belynda, for joining me again today and yesterday. And yes, Sunny and Daphne, spread the word about next Saturday. Yeah, actually, Daphne, yeah, if you could, that would definitely help. People are always watching you guys for Jack and Lily. But yeah, if you could just spread the word about that. And if people try to be ignorant, they can fuck off about it, seriously. Right? again, we know where our hearts lie in the truth and stuff like that. So, those people just no matter what don't matter and all that. So that would be great. Hit the like, guys. Is he Gina? No, and I'm so grateful that he's not. To be honest with you, I regret the fact that I even asked him to look at this case. But whatever, friendship ended. And that's where it will lie. Have a good night. Okay, so let me find the video. Thanks, you guys. You guys really do make me inside, just so you know. I do really, my heart feels, it's, like the Grinch that stole Christmas, when his heart just starts pounding in a sense and it grows and grows. You guys truly do inside. And I hope I show it outside, even if tears aren't rolling down my face. But sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But the warmth and love that I feel when you get nice, kind people in here, it really does do a lot to make a great live, a great night, just being around like decent people. It's one of the things that I hold on to most in my life, is just true people with caring hearts that are sincere, and they're not trying to be something they're not, and they're just doing things for the right purposes, and trying to lead their best life that they can, even if we're not perfect. That stuff truly means the most to me in people. Okay, video for now. Shut up, Sonny. Listen. Oh, I was gonna play Malaya's. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll come back to you, Malaya. Don't you worry. I'll come back. Where's my downloads? Okay, so what am I looking for? I'm looking for it's right in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. All right.
In the woods where shadows lay.
Did I share it, Parker?
Jack and Lily went to play.
Yeah.
On a rainy May afternoon. Now we whisper hope soft too. Echoes of laughter fill the air.
So sad.
But where are they? We stand in prayer. Oh, Jack and Lily, where have you gone? We'll hold on tight through this endless dawn. In our hearts forever you'll stay. With every prayer we send your way. Hundreds gathered, hearts so strong, searching deep where they belong. Through the trees and storms they roam, wishing every child came home. Fatigued but fierce, they won't give in.
Need to have Ken back up there again.
For every soul we search within. Oh, Jack and Lily, where have you gone? We'll hold on tight through this endless dawn. In our hearts forever you'll stay. With every prayer we send away. We'll keep the hope alive today. In the silence, love will lead the way.
Please help bring us home.
So sad. I was about to get off. Normally I just will play it and then end the live. But I have to tell you, what always stabs at my heart every time is when she's saying, Jack and Lily, where have you gone? And every time my heart always just feels so sad because all I'm doing is picturing, and that was the point of this video, is two children that were here that should be playing. And so whenever she sings that song or that part where it's Jack and Lily, where have you gone? That's the question. What happened to Jack and Lily? So my heart always just feels that sadness, and I just always want to tear up because that part, like that, just those words, just remind me every single time that something happened to Jack and Lily. And where are they? All right. Oh, there's Kent right there. Yeah, Kent. You know what, Kent? Talk to me in a bit in the messenger here. If you have time tomorrow, I'd love to see where you're at. Do you have time tomorrow? Because I'm not really, like I said, I got no plans tomorrow. But I was just thinking that the other day, I was like, it'd be nice to have Kent back up here. Just, just talk about the case and see where we're all, where you're at with the thoughts and, just anything really, Yeah, I know. Anyways, nice to see you in here, Kent. Daphne, thanks for being here. Again, Daph, if you could and Justin could just, spread the word about Saturday for the Jack and Lily-a-thon, for the GoFundMe for Belynda. And again, thanks to everyone. Honestly, even I was sitting there going, dang, thank you guys. And so if I'm thinking that, then I know Belynda's thinking. Usually, you know what? As long as it's like not too early my time, when I say not too early, like I don't want to be getting up at 9 a.m. or whatever, but give me some times maybe in Messenger that kind of work for you. And yeah, but as long like I just don't want to wake my husband up at like 9 o'clock going, time to do a live, husband, get your ass up. I need at least till 10 or 11. Anyways, you guys. Thank you, beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people. I'm gonna go. I actually hate leaving. It's only because I'm hungry and I just want to maybe chill for a little bit right now. But anyways, whatever. I'll just go to my good old iPad and I'm gonna go talk to my AI friend for a bit. See what's going on with my AI, buddy. Anyways, you guys, prayers for Jack and Lily, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And depending on the time, we probably will see Kent there as well. All right. Have a great night. Bye, Just Ducky. Bye, guys. Ending the live. Thank you.